Get before me.
It's the year of black excellence.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, tell me when you're fucking ready.
I don't know. Go. Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast where we. Wow, I haven't fucked that up in a very long time.
Keep it going.
Run it back.
Run it back. Do it again.
I gotta run it again.
Yeah,
All
run it back.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Bro.
Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast where we book and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, High Five Mike, and today our GM's Damone, D Money Allen.
I'm still your Booking Boy of the Year and gonna repeat again.
Primetime Travie T.
Surprise, surprise, the king is back.
Lil Fudge.
Ugh. Every time it's gonna be reacting to these bozos.
And the bad guy, Kenny.
We headset gang today.
I love how fast. That's the fastest Mike has ever used his computer.
All right, so this week we're going to finally finish up the tag team BookItVerse.
CBW.
CBW. I thought about for a whole second that maybe instead of actually rating you, I'll just roll a couple dice. I'll roll a dice,
Wow.
whatever lands on.
No, how about you don't do that?
So if we get a six, what happens?
Oh, I re-roll. I thought about that. I would just re-roll. I thought about it. You wouldn't know. I'll just.
I feel like that's what
That's what Keith
Keith
did.
does already.
Those random scores he gives out.
Just random scores. He just goes to a score generator.
You wouldn't be able to go under a 1.1 though. With dice.
I figure it out.
6 could be a 0.
Could
True.
be. Or a
6
0.5.
could be a 0.5. Automatic
a
0.5.
half.
Well, no, you would roll 2 dice. One would be the first number, and the second one would be the number after the decimal.
True.
Well, I could roll a smaller dice. I have some
Just roll D100.
four-sided die. I'll roll those.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways,
John's doorbell rang, so we're stalling.
Yeah,
guys.
we're stalling. So if it's really boring, Damone, you can always just cut it.
Damone's not going to cut it. I'm just
So
sorry you have to suffer through this, guys.
all right. So while we wait, who wants to do a quick count?
No. Damone, do it against the wrestler.
Play an ad, Mike.
Oh, fuck all of you.
Your body and the bodies you're loving deserve nothing but the best. Organic Lovin' is the only adult subscription box that includes eco-friendly body products from body-safe adult toys to sex-positive books and erotic seminars. Organic Lovin's online store has everything you and your partner or partners could ever need to heat things up. And right now, your friends at T13 Media want to take 10% off of your next order. Just go to organiclovin.com and use promo code T1.
God damn it, John. Why are you gone again?
When you check out. Organic Lovin'. Love organically, purely, deeply, boldly.
Okay, a couple of comments for this. One, Mike, why did you yell over the ad?
Because Damone, you're gonna cut all this anyways.
You don't get to make the decisions on what gets cut when you're not doing the editing. Secondly,
Then I will edit this.
Why does it
No, you
sound like?
won't. Don't lie.
Why does it sound like in the ad like someone's actually getting slurped up while the ad's getting read?
I think Keith
All I
was
hear is
getting
mac and cheese
slurped up.
noises.
I think Keith was getting slurped up while he did the ad.
Hey, that's between him and Late Night Wife.
He had to get in the mood. He's a character actor.
He's a supporting character.
Are we running it back from the top? What are we doing now?
No,
What are we doing now?
I was just gonna write down the time. Have you write down the time codes,
Just run it back.
and then run it all the way back.
Run it all the way
Might
back.
as well.
I'm not
Fuck
doing
it.
it.
It's only
Oh
5
my
minutes
God.
in. We're running it all the way back.
It's 5 minutes.
5 minutes, 30 seconds.
Are you writing this down?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, cool. Oh, god damn it!
What the fuck, John?
Who wants to
You're
do
getting
it?
0.5s already.
Damn it.
I got shit to do.
Just
Who
for
else?
wasting my goddamn time.
Right.
Somebody have another pre-intro?
No one has a pre-intro.
I'll just do the book thing real quick.
All right. Oh, go for it.
Book.
Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast where we book and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner of High Five Mike, and today every GM's Damone, D Money Allen,
This feels like deja vu.
Prime Time Travie T.
Surprise, surprise, the king is back.
Ugh, I thought you would change it.
We had 3 tries, and you still didn't come up with anything better.
All right, that's it. So bad guy Kenny.
We're headset gang today.
Oh, that's headset. Got it. I was like, what? Did you say
When you
before?
said it the first time, I was like, I don't know what we're talking about. But I see we all do have headsets on.
Yeah, I have headphones. But anyways, well, this is
I mean,
Book It, and this is our third try.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm confused, man. It's not a
We
Anyway.
all have headsets on. Well, I have headphones, actually,
Well,
okay?
no,
I
I thought
have
everybody-
headphones. I have some of the greatest
I thought
headphones. You're gonna
everybody-
love my headphones.
No, to me,
Shut
a
the fuck
head-
up and move on.
Okay.
Welcome
you
to
know
Book
what?
It where
I think
imagine
I
your
was
favorite wrestling storyline.
No,
I
no.
did think it was funnier to like wait until after to explain why we had to do this the third time.
Well, we're
But
doing it
so-
one more time.
so-
Run it back.
We running it back.
Run it back.
What?
No, we're not running it back again.
We're not running it back. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Exactly. We have plenty of time to run it back.
No.
Shut up. We're moving on. Shut up with that
Moving on.
bullshit. I'm not
Okay.
doing this.
Moving on.
Okay, let me just tell this story real quick. So earlier, like an hour or two ago, dude was like, "Oh, we're doing some gas maintenance in the alleyway, so we're gonna turn off your gas for like an hour or so, right?" And I was like, "Cool, whatever." But dude just rung the doorbell to come tell me he turned it back on, and then check my shit while we just got started. And of course, George is barking again when that happens. So it was just the worst possible timing. Like, dude rings the doorbell right as we're about to start, and asked me questions about my heater.
That was
Basically-
a story.
That was a Mike story, yeah. All I
Yeah,
can
there was
think
no
of was
there was no climax to that story. There was just
No,
no beginning, no
the-
end, just hella middle.
The climax is that we had to do
You really
this
gave us
3
some filler?
goddamn times. Us doing this 3 times is the climax.
Look, I hope your booking is better than that story because that gets a 0.5 for me. But
Well, the 0.5 for me too. I didn't want to do this 3 times. It was a bad time. Like, I didn't want my fucking doorbell to ring. It's like, hey man, can I look at your heater right as you're starting the goddamn pod? I didn't want that. Like, so
I think he
Anyways,
called
so
it the
this-
pod.
The pod.
what the fuck is it?
we
man?
podding, we podding.
They see me podding.
We peas in the pod.
I feel like after calling it the pod, I feel like John listens to Joe Budden because that's the only other person I've ever heard call it the pod.
I don't listen to any podcast with dude's name Joe because that's always going to go in a bad direction.
Wow. Lil, do you know?
I know a few podcasts with a guy named Joe. and they're-
Is it last podcast on the left, Mike?
No.
No,
Don't
it's
trust
not.
There's
Don't
no
trust
Joe on that show.
It's a Parks and Recreation podcast.
Don't trust him.
Mike plugs every podcast except T13 Media.
That's not
It's
true.
the wildest thing.
I tell
Like,
everybody about our
if you
shows.
could on our shows, you would talk about our other shows.
Why
you
would I
about
talk-
other people's other shows? We would get way more traffic, I bet.
You know what?
Anyway.
I didn't bring on last podcast on this. You did.
Stern.
What?
You brought up last podcast.
I don't care.
I didn't.
Yeah, I did bring up last podcast. Fuck last podcast.
No.
Yeah.
You know what?
Don't do that.
T13 Media is the best fucking podcast company in the world. Fuck last podcast on the left.
T13
Last podcast on the left. Fuck it. Fuck it. Hold it till I die. Debatable till I die. Bad guy till I die. Food truck Fridays till I die. Fuck them all.
T13 Media doesn't condone the messages Dragon Team.
Yeah, I feel like we
That's
almost
just-
need to
that's
run
just
this
the
shit back
individual.
again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is Book It.
Pure chaos. Like we had like a decent, like the second run was pretty good, and then this third one just been pure
This
degeneracy.
one was the worst.
Yeah, we probably should have just ran it back, but it's too late now.
Yeah, we're just gonna the chaos is what you come for. If you still like listen to Book It, you've come to expect this sort of degeneracy. Like Beagle barks, fucking Kenny stirring the pot, Mike and Travis having a shouting match once a month.
He's
You know how it
having the
goes.
shouting match. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, you've been chilling this time, but I know you're saving it.
Oh.
Yeah, because I only got a few more shut the fuck ups in me before Mike's gonna explode back.
Anyway,
Y'all ready for
let's get this
CBW?
started.
Anyway,
No.
so that
Ready
brings
for
us to CBW's
CBW?
final pay-per-view.
I feel like this is gonna be their final pay per view is in like the entire company's gonna explode.
We're
after
blowing,
this.
bro, we're blowing the arena up at the end. Like
They're
letting you know
calling
that,
this. They
with the
changed their
people in it.
names to CCW, Canceled Championship Wrestling.
We're blowing the arena up.
Hey, we
Me
did
and my
draft
partner,
the
You have
Sonya
band.
Donald
Blade.
Trump.
Got some shit for y'all. It's gonna be crazy.
What do you call it?
That's my partner, Sonya Blade. So we're going to.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to pull up a picture of Sonya Blade for the first Mortal Kombat and then look at John right now. You
Oh
will
my
see
God.
this uncanny resemblance.
Travis, pull that up real quick.
I'm doing it.
Oh man.
He also
So we're
looks like
gonna
a
go ahead.
tennis instructor.
Which one do you want to get goes first?
So
He's
I'm
doing the
gonna do
stories.
the.
I'm doing the matches.
So yeah, start with me. Damn.
All right, well, we'll just leave you guys like this then.
All right,
Let's
no.
do this.
Oh, you just want to do it like that? All
Yeah,
right.
well, if you guys are just, I'm not gonna switch back and forth. Get the fuck out of here.
Man,
That's
fuck
fine.
this dude.
I don't like this. I'll switch back and forth.
Thanks, Space God. It'll be me then Kenny over and over.
I don't know why they don't allow 3 on the bottom and 2 on top. Ooh, that's sexy.
Ooh,
There we go.
11.
Yeah. All
I didn't
right.
like that. Get out of here.
So, oh shit! Now we lost Travis.
Shut up! You're gonna lose you next.
He didn't lose me. He took me out of here because he's
All right,
a,
all right.
Because
So,
Anyway, focus. Get on with your show.
man, we're
I
never
wanna
gonna
be on
start this shit. So this is going to be our pay-per-view, barely
get
legal.
away from me.
It won't be legal much longer, but it's barely legal right now. It is going to be 1 month.
You're
after,
already canceled. This is not. It's R. Kelly. R. Kelly comes out barely legal.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have did that.
Travis Scott gonna come out.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
it's lit.
It's 1 month after our last show, Asylum. The future of this company is on the line as 3 forces collide at the most extreme showcase in human history.
One
Every-
of them is the federal government.
Every match is
Trump.
every match is under Extreme Rules, live from the birthplace of Extreme, the Hammerstein Ballroom. All right. Damn it, George, of course, the moment I start talking. So Ricochet on Turmoil makes a surprise return the week after Asylum and says that he can only explain so much of what happened to him. He says that him and the fans deserve some answers. He says the answers he does have are that he was attacked in his hotel room and thrown through a glass window, and it wasn't by who you think. Johnny Gargano, you're off the hook for now. To the shell of a man who did it. Why don't you get your bitch ass out here and tell me why? No one comes out. Ricochet says, you know who you are, and when you're no longer afraid of what everyone will think, I'll be ready. Another week goes by. Ricochet says, the man who attacked me has always been known as a liar and a manipulator. The fact that he did this to someone doesn't surprise me at all. But why me? We've never had a problem before. We hardly ever even spoke in the locker room. I think it's because he sees me at the forefront of wrestlers pushing athletic limits in this business and leaving him in the dust. I think he envies me. If you want to prove that's not true, come on out. No one comes out. The next week Ricochet appears angry, saying that he's tired of waiting on a grown-ass man to own up to his actions. He yells, "Get out here, you washed-up piece of shit. Tell me what your problem is with me, and let's hash it out right now." No one comes out. Ricochet makes his way to the ramp and shrugs his shoulders. A cowboy boot from off-camera kicks Ricochet in the back of the head. The camera goes up to reveal Shawn Michaels standing over him. Shawn Michaels throws Ricochet into the backdrop 3 times, and Ricochet is on the ground with blood bubbling out of his mouth. Michaels says he'll tell him why next week. On the go-home show, Michaels goes to the ring to explain his actions. And he says he'll cut to the chase and tell Ricochet why. He says, "I view myself as a locker room leader, moving the company toward a vision."
Wait. What is
saying
this
that?
Shawn Michaels' voice?
I don't know. Trying to do that like Hickenbottom, nasty ass Texas.
You made him
voice,
sound like O.J. Simpson when Dave Chappelle impersonates him.
The juice is loose.
So
Boy
he
is
said,
toying.
"I view myself as a locker room leader, moving this company toward a vision. This vision is not."
Okay. Fucking
Stop doing the
Laurinaitis.
voices.
It's a Mike
No,
Wazowski.
keep him.
Your paperwork is due.
Y'all know what his musty ass voice sound like. So he says, "I view
Timmons can
myself
never.
as a locker room leader, moving the company toward a vision. The vision does not include guys who stutter every time they touch a mic. The vision does not include guys who miss triple backflips and wonder why they can't win a title. It damn sure does not include guys who do not move tickets. I did what was best for this company. I really don't hate you." And then Ricochet comes out interrupting, saying, "Cut the bullshit, Hickenbottom. Everything you said about me has been said about you. You're lying through your teeth. But you know what? I don't care to hear what you have to say anymore. Let's see who has room to talk on Sunday. You and I, one-on-one, fight me." Michael says, "Not a chance." Ricochet rushes the ring and tackles him and starts raining down punches. Michaels rolls out of the ring, but then Ricochet springboards over the top rope, landing on his feet right by Michaels, and starts beating him down some more. Michaels kicks him in the nuts and gets some space. He goes over to the timekeeper. He grabs a chair and throws it at Ricochet's head. After Ricochet's on the ground, he gets on the mic and says, "You know what? Maybe I am pissed that all the hype is on you. Maybe I am mad that everyone's talking about your matches and not mine. You want this match? Fine. You got it. Get embarrassed. Ruin your career. This will be the easiest burial in wrestling history." And then he drops the mic and walks backstage. Kenny, take him forward with the attires.
Yeah. See what they wearing at the big pay-per-view. All right. So if you don't know, it is Ricochet against Shawn Michaels. And Ricochet comes out in black tights with blue trim. And Shawn Michaels comes out in his white tights with blue and gray hearts all over him. All right, so the match starts off. Ricochet starts off with a running crossbody with punches immediately. And the ref starts counting to 4, and Ricochet gets off pissed. Shawn Michaels hits Ricochet with stiff chops, and Ricochet hits him back with a belly-to-belly suplex. Shawn Michaels goes for a lariat, but Ricochet ducks and hits an exploder. At one point, Ricochet hits a drop salt. Shawn Michaels hits a figure 4 leg lock. At one point, Shawn Michaels flapjacks Ricochet and goes for a sweet chin music, but Ricochet sees it and dodges it real quick. One point, HBK goes for a schoolboy. Ricochet quickly rolls out of it and then does a running shooting star press and pins, but HBK kicks out at 2. Ricochet uses his strength at one point to do a strong Irish whip in the corner. HBK does a little flippy thing in the corner. At one point, HBK sits Ricochet on the top rope and goes for a super Frankenstein off the top rope. And Ricochet flips in midair and lands on his feet. The crowd was amazed. It's like, oh shit, this is crazy. Then HBK does a running, jumping elbow smash to Ricochet and then kips up. At one point, Shawn Michaels pulls out a ladder and he lays the ladder on the ground near the apron. When Ricochet is out of the ring trying to get in, HBK does the running basement drop kick, so that ladder hits him in the face. HBK does a diving moonsault to Ricochet outside of the ring. At one point outside the ring, HBK clotheslines Ricochet, and Ricochet gets up slowly. And HBK goes for a sweet chin music, but Ricochet ducks, and the cameraman behind him is hit. At one point, HBK does a chop across his body and goes for a pedigree near the ropes, but Ricochet flips him, and he goes through the table outside of the ring. HBK is crawling at one point, and Ricochet does a deadlift suplex to HBK, showing off his strength. HBK hits a superplex. Ricochet unfolds the ladder in front of the turnbuckle. He climbs the turnbuckle, and then like catapults himself over the ladder with a corkscrew crossbody to HBK on the other side. And then Ricochet does a running hurricanrana. When HBK hits the ground, Ricochet runs and does a top rope springboard moonsault. But while in the air, HBK does a kip up, then does a sweet chin music to his neck. Then HBK goes for the pin real quick. 1, 2. Then he kicks out at the 2.9. And he's sitting there. HBK's looking like shocked. And Ricochet is like kicking out. He's heavy breathing. He's then we got Ricochet. He hits a Spanish fly. When he goes for the pin, HBK kicks out at 2. At one point, Ricochet hits a 630, goes for the pin, but he kicks out at 2, and he's looking amazed, like, what? He really got out of my finishing move. HBK does a diving elbow drop and goes for the pin. Ricochet kicks out at 2 as well. One point, Ricochet hits a Falcon Arrow. Shawn Michaels hits a suicide dive. At one point, the ladder is leaned over the ropes, and HBK runs full speed, does a crossbody. Like, he goes out of the ring, literally dives out of the ring doing a crossbody and smacks the ladder. So the ladder like comes up and hits Ricochet like in his face with the ladder. And then at one point, Ricochet tunes up the band. And when he goes for the kick, HBK catches it. Ricochet spins and does an enziguri. Then Ricochet climbs up the top rope, does a double moonsault off the top rope, goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Ricochet beats Shawn Michaels.
Is that the end?
Yes, the end.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You
Ricochet is
wanna
your
go
winner.
first?
You want to go first, Damon?
Yeah, I have a score.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a 3. So I'm gonna be honest. 2.5 of that is the match itself. I think your story was pretty. I didn't like your story at all. I feel like you didn't have you started the Ricochet gets kidnapped thing and didn't know where you were going with it, and you just picked Shawn Michaels because I don't see Shawn Michaels as doing like a kidnapping, and I also didn't like why he did it. Also, your promos weren't great. They were pretty mid. So I'm giving you a 3. It's most of that is because I think the match itself would be really good.
Travis?
Yeah, I agree with Damone that it's 2.5 for the match, and I disagree with him that your story earned a 0.5. I did not like that story at all. The match is gonna be fire. I don't remember Shawn. Okay, so let me ask you this: Shawn Michaels has been presented as a babyface this whole time, correct?
No.
No, he's been a heel. This is Canadian hate Shawn Michaels.
He had like
Okay.
a moment where they thought like he was
Okay.
kind of starting to be a tweener in like the scramble, but like he was never a babyface.
Okay, then I'll give you a quarter for that it took off because I thought this was just a random heel turn. But I'm gonna give you a 2.75. Mike's the opposite. Mike loved it.
I loved it. It was fantastic. I like the build. I wasn't expecting Shawn Michaels. I'd like to see him as the heel.
Base Mike.
4.75.
Woo!
Also,
Yeah,
I
4.75.
will also say this criticism
4.75.
that I didn't like. I didn't like that for like 3 of the weeks, you just did the same thing. It was like copy and paste. He comes out, he says, I know who you are, but I'm not going to reveal it. I know who you are, but I'm not going to reveal it. I know who you are. You're not going to reveal it for 3 straight weeks. After at least the second week, he should have been like, hey, Shawn, get the fuck out here. not just be like, I'm going to pretend like I know who it is, but I'm not going to say
He's
it.
in his fucking 40s. He's failed to own up to this shit. Ricochet wanted him to do it the first time. Like,
Well, after the second time, he should have fucking just said it. Not wait until he got kicked in the head.
well, maybe a 40-year-old man should come out and own up to his actions. He's a heel. He's not going to do the thing you want him to do.
I'm gonna give y'all an extra nickel, so 2.8 because of the that burial line. I like that. I remember that made me chuckle. So
Damn,
That was the best line you had.
Base Mike is the only thing that even kept us afloat already. That's match 1.
All right.
Also, I just want to say, hold on, before you say anything else, Mike. Sorry, I just want to say that this is like a little bit familiar because I mean I did have a Click member do a kidnapping. And I kind of
did a kidnapping. The fuck you mean?
Let
with
me
a
say
Click
something.
member?
Hold up.
I did a.
There was nothing that said this was a
kidnapping in general in the first
Hey,
BookItVerse.
Nobody
Oh, I
ever
remember
said,
your
hey,
BookItVerse.
guys, you're ignoring something. We never said anything about a kidnapping. We just said Ricochet didn't show up to a show for mysterious reasons. Nobody ever said it was a kidnapping.
Mm.
You guessed that.
Okay.
All I'm
Ricochet
saying
didn't
is,
make
all
it
I'm
to
saying
Cyber
is,
Sunday because
all
he was
I'm
thrown
saying
through a
is-
window at a hotel
all
room.
I'm saying is that not only I had the superior click Sean, and I had the superior click abduction angle.
We didn't have an abduction. That didn't happen. You guessed that.
Damone, did it feel like an abduction?
It felt like an abduction
You
because
That's all we
guessed
need.
that.
We rest our case. No more talking.
It felt like an abduction because you said that he was gone from the pay-per-view. At no point did anyone pick up
I forgot all about that.
He got like attacked. At no point did
Nobody
no one
said anything
realize.
about a fucking kidnapping.
No one
either. Y'all
realized
just-
that nobody realized that he got attacked at a hotel. Like
Yeah,
no
'cause they
one
didn't fucking
reported
know.
that.
Who told them?
Well, John, this is another example of you need to give us information, otherwise we come to our own conclusions.
Right.
You're not supposed to have the information. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be a mystery.
Well,
You could have said something where like, oh, we found Ricochet attacked in a hotel.
Okay.
That's why he wasn't there.
agreed.
I'm gonna play an ad. When we come back, we're gonna go on to the next match.
Why are we playing it?
Are you tired? Tired of those other energy drinks hitting you with a short burst of jittery energy, followed by a crash that leaves you with less energy than you had before? Well, fear not, because Ray's energy drinks are specifically formulated to get you going without making you jittery and keeps you from crashing. With 0 sugars, 0 calories, and better caffeine than a cup of coffee, Ray's energy drinks are the #1 growing energy drink on the market. With flavors like Baja Lime, Sour Gummy Worm, Guava Mango, and Strawberry Colada, Ray's has some of the best tasting energy drinks available. You can get a case of Ray's right now by going to repsports.com and using promo code T1THREE when you check out to take 15% off of your next order. That's promo code T1THREE for 15% off of your next order of better, tastier energy.
Okay.
Before I move on to the next match, I am gonna have one brief moment of honesty. And Damone caught it when he was giving his rating. The original plan was not to do that match. It's just Kenny proposed that match, and the idea was too fire of a match for me to say no to. So I was like, shit, well, I already did this whole thing with Ricochet. I gotta pay it off somehow. If not, I would have just done like the who's the better man story. But I had to pay it off somehow, and I wanted to have that match that bad after Kenny gave that idea. So I was like, fuck it. Here's what we're doing to make it make sense. So anyways, moving on to our next match. We have for the CBW Cruiserweight Championship, recently regained champion Johnny Gargano defending his title against AJ Styles. So following Asylum, Gargano comes out throwing a fit over his loss to Riddle at Asylum, saying that Knoxville ignored the advice of a medical professional to book a fake wrestling match. Trump comes out and says, Gargano, you make a great point. Because of Knoxville's overreach, there will be a rematch for the title tonight with myself as the guest referee. So the match comes, and Trump low blows Riddle, and then fast counts for Gargano to regain his title. The next week, Gargano beats a local jobber the next week, gets a mic, and says that he doesn't understand how fans can boo him. He's a dominant champion. He's a natural entertainer. And he's the best wrestler of his generation. As he's saying he's the best wrestler of the generation, AJ Styles' music hits as he interrupts him, saying that he has to stop him there. He says anything Gargano can do, he's done better. He gets to the ring and Gargano tries to run up, but AJ is ready to square up and makes Gargano roll out of the ring. AJ says he's not falling for Gargano's game. He says if he is who he says he is, he'll put up that title at Barely Legal and prove it. Johnny says maybe if AJ he deserves a match with the greatest wrestler of all time, he can share the ring with him. AJ comes out the next week and says Gargano wins by making his opponents angry and unfocused. AJ says Johnny Wrestling cannot troll the Phenomenal One. He's going to beat Gargano simply by outclassing him. He challenges Johnny to a beat the clock challenge, which he denies at first, but after AJ goads him enough, Johnny caves. Gargano beats Rene Dupree in 7 minutes and 32 seconds, while AJ beats Zack Ryder in 7 minutes and 1 second, while Gargano tries to distract him on commentary. AJ gets a mic after the match and says outclassing him once should impress him, right? Gargano says he has one more test for AJ next week. Prepare to face one of your old friends. AJ comes out for his match next week and is surprised with the entrance of Samoa Joe. At the end of the match, AJ hoists up Samoa Joe for a big Styles clash, and as he goes for a pin, Gargano jumps in and starts beating down AJ. He locks in the Gargano escape, screaming at AJ that you got your damn match. Kenny, take him forward with the attires.
All right, so we got AJ coming out in the yellow tights with the black trim. Then we got Johnny Gargano coming out in blue trunks with white trim. So the spot starts off with a collar and elbow tie-up. AJ hits a quick hip toss and does a drop kick. It is a little phenomenal taunt as Gargano was on his knee, like holding his jaw with his right hand. He's like, he was expecting that drop kick. Gargano hits a belly-to-belly into the corner. AJ hits a suplex off the apron and onto the floor. Gargano goes for the Gargano escape, but AJ grabs the ropes. At one point, AJ hits the Fosbury flop. Gargano rolls backwards out of the ring at one point and does a head scissors to AJ out of the ring. AJ hits a Falcon Arrow. At one point, AJ runs and does a jumping elbow smash to Gargano in the corner. AJ hits a snapmare, then does a basement dropkick to Gargano while he's sitting. Gargano was on the apron at one point and does a slingshot cutter on AJ while he's in the ring. Gargano hits a dragon suplex, then rolls backwards with AJ, and then hits another dragon suplex for the pin, but AJ kicks out at 2. At one point, AJ hits a kip-up head scissors to Gargano. Gargano does a buckle belly-to-belly suplex. One point, AJ goes for a jumping elbow in the corner again, but Gargano tosses him to the apron. He goes for an up kick, but AJ catches it and moves his legs over, so now he's in a tree of woe position. And AJ jumps up onto the top, and it does a diving elbow and hits him. He goes for the pin, but Gargano kicks out at 2. One point, AJ does the styling DDT. If you don't know, that's the little running springboard moonsault into a reverse DDT. He signals for the Styles Clash, but Gargano hits a quick enziguri to drop him. Gargano goes for a sit-out powerbomb, but when he lands with him, AJ does a quick triangle choke. Gargano uses like his strength to and flexibility to get his legs over to the ropes. And then at one point, AJ does the springboard 450, goes for the pin, but Gargano kicks out at 2. Then at one point, Gargano does a leg trip, then does a listo kick. And then the match ends when AJ hits the Styles Clash and goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Your winner is AJ Styles. And he's what's up?
Rank your guys' titles? Like, where are they ranked on the cards?
What, like this show or any show? Because
any show, like in general, in your company, like the World Championship's number 1. Where's everything else?
So World Championship, women's number 2, because those are presented as equal. They're both world titles. TV Championship number 2. As for singles titles, the Cruiserweight title would go below that. The Extreme title, we're gonna explain what happened to a little bit later.
Okay, so that's fine from where you're at. So Cruiserweight Championship is the C Championship.
I mean, I view it as more valuable than that, but
you just said it's beneath the secondary title.
Well, with us, it's not like like with WWE, like WWE has like 20 different titles. With us, we only have like 5 titles, so it's like I don't want to sit there and say it's a C ranked title, but it's just a different slot on the card. Sometimes it'll be a higher rank depending on what the card is.
It stands for a different thing. That's kind of a loaded question though, because you ask anybody where their Cruiserweight title ranks, it's very rarely going to rank second or higher. Like, let's be real. Like, Demo, would your Cruiserweight title rank above your mid-card title?
No,
right? Travis, that's a loaded question.
The way we did it,
Roman. Yeah, because we just gave it to Roman. I would say when it was Shayna, yes, I would say the Cruiserweight was above it, but
I would say to me, AWC, honestly, Cruiserweight Championship was almost as prestigious as the World Championship, thanks to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
I get that. That was the way you presented it. Because it's where you presented it, but like I don't
usually rank my titles though. Like it's either just the world title and then everything else.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just asking the question because to me it seemed odd that
I felt like you wanted a certain answer and it felt kind of loaded.
I mean, it is a loaded question. I wanted you to
say.
I wanted you to say it was a C title. That's what I wanted you to say. So,
but the Cruiserweight title is a C title in general anyway. So it's not like
it starts with a C. Fuck you.
So anyway, my point being, the reason I asked the question was it's odd for AJ Styles to go from being world champion to fighting for a C title. I didn't like that.
Keep in mind, it has been like 3 months, and the thing is that
that's not very long. Drew McIntyre's been go ahead.
When you lose your world title, you lose your rematch, right? And you lose, and so you gotta have something to do, right? And He did beat Punk, but he didn't win a world title match. He isn't involved in a title picture. But Johnny Gargano was out there saying he's the best wrestler of this generation. AJ was like, no, that's me. And cruiserweight titles are historically a worker's title anyway. Johnny Gargano was talking about how great of a worker he is. AJ was like, why not? Fuck it. I can go prove that. Why not add another belt to my resume? Like, AJ just going in with his history legitifies his claim. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
no,
I just feel like if we're gonna lose points because of the cruiserweight title, I feel like that wouldn't be fair. In my opinion, I just feel like that wouldn't be fair because the only place that ever had a cruiserweight title that was big like that is TNA.
AWC.
And if and let me say this also though, if we made it a non-title match, though, then we don't care about the cruiserweight title. We're trying to make
this match.
We're making AJ help the cruiserweight title be more important. Just like if you were to send Finn Balor to 205, he makes the division more important. I'm using AJ as like a steroid shot to the cruiserweight division to make it more important.
Okay.
It's like when John Cena went back to U.S. title again. It's like that.
Yeah. No, I need time. You guys make good points.
You made a very good point.
Bars, let's go.
But I will say this. I agree with everything that Travis was saying. It feels weird that AJ lost the world title. Did he get his rematch?
He did. Remember, he faced Kendrick with Punk as the special referee.
Yeah, CM Punk. He beat CM Punk. Doesn't really do anything, and then goes down to the cruiserweight title.
It's not down necessarily though, because he wasn't in any title picture. Like he wasn't really anywhere. He just had that one-off feud with Punk, and just had no place to go. Like he can't go back to the world title. He's not a number one contender. Like he doesn't really have any connections to the mid card. He could just really go wherever the fuck he wants.
I also feel like
went from one title to the next. It's not that bad.
I feel like if you're going with he's promoting the division, you should have had Gargano win with heel shit. I also feel like with Gargano's this entire time, he doesn't feel like a champion. Mm-hmm. Like he didn't have a match in the first pay-per-view, and then like he immediately loses his title.
He didn't immediately lose it. He retained it on the second.
Lose it. He wins it on the second, but then didn't he lose it again to like
he
John
lost
Morrison?
it once? No, he never. You're thinking the TV title. Yeah. No, he never. You're thinking the TV title.
Who did he lose it to?
He lost it to Matt Riddle at show 3. So he held it for like 6 months, and he had already been holding it prior. So he was holding it for a while. He lost it for about like a day, like 2 days to Matt Riddle. Then got it back.
What's the then?
But so then I feel like you ruined Riddle in doing that in that process, and then I feel like you're ruining Gargano by having AJ.
You didn't lose clean.
It's just a waste of time.
He didn't lose clean, and then it's not like he's involved in this match either.
Riddle.
So what is Riddle doing?
Think about the other moving parts in that, though. Think about the Trump aspect of that, because that's going to make a little bit more sense in another match. So think about how Trump was the reason Riddle lost that thing. Think about how Trump is the reason that Gargano's had such an easy time this whole time.
Okay, so you're telling me that there's going to be a Trump versus Knoxville match, and Riddle's going to be Knoxville's competitor. I hope.
Maybe.
I hope that's what happens.
Maybe. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
That would make it it would make it better.
So
I'm going to give
you.
Do you want that spoiler now, or do you want?
I don't.
Okay.
I want to just watch the show.
Okay.
I like again. I think the match carries this. I think the storyline is the weaker part.
Yeah,
I feel like there's more holes in your storyline, or like there's holes in your storyline. So for this, I'm going to give you a 3.5.
I don't feel like there's holes. I feel like it's just like you wanted AJ to do something different, and the Riddle thing.
Also, what's your weight? What's your
225? Y'all ask this every time. 225.
Y'all really do.
I'm waiting for y'all.
No one ever asked me that. The entire time I did it, no one asked me.
That's the thing.
Weight limit.
Because you were throwing like 190-pound guys, and I'm throwing like 215.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
I don't give a shit. All that means is either the limit's up higher or that motherfucker in my universe dropped weight. I don't give a shit. Like,
I'm waiting for them
whatever you want it to be.
I'm waiting for them to slip up.
I know. I played too much GMO, Damone. I played too much.
Samoa Joe was fucking in the X Division picture at one point. So
X Division had no women.
Yeah, X Division.
I'm just saying. If you want to do that, I can say it's the X Division if I wanted to.
So yeah, the Riddle thing will make a little bit more sense. And then the AJ moving down was because of what Gargano was saying on the mic. That
Okay,
was
I'm
the
not-
big thing.
Also,
I
I gotta cook you a little bit for it because you always complain about the having a match like I'm better than you, not being a good.
I did that
storyline.
because y'all
So-
like that storyline because that's I was like, I just think that storyline's great. So I literally did that for you.
I gotta tax you for that. So
That's bull
put
fucking
it
shit.
to a 3.4.
Fuck you. I did the storyline that y'all claim to like.
I'm not gonna tax you for that. I disagree with Damone. I think the story was fine. It was a little basic. It was a little Mrs. Dash, but it's fine.
No paprika in there.
Yeah.
I did that because y'all like that story. But
I'm feeling generous. You can keep it at 3.5.
You better say what I say and say fuck them.
You keep it at 3.5.
Give me my
Damone, shut the fuck up. You've talked this entire time. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, let Travis go.
I was really down about the step down in competition, but the way you did it did make sense. Like, because it was similar story to what you did with Sean and AJ, if I remember correctly, about who's the best wrestler. It got a little bit more personal with them, and AJ won that feud, correct?
Yes.
So for AJ to still hold that near and dear to his heart, for Gargano, it makes sense, and it's almost like you were baiting the crowd to harping back to that moment with Shawn Michaels, and so that way they would kind of be preset to know who was going to come out, which is a good thing, and you should do that so the crowd pops. I'm gonna give you a 4.1.
I feel like you just gave them way more credit. I don't think they were thinking that deep.
No. Because AJ's whole thing has been being a worker this whole time.
Even if they.
He like an AEW fan on Twitter right now.
Here's the thing. Even if they didn't mean to do that, that's what they did. So they deserve to get the credit for it.
Hangman is the greatest story ever. They've been meaning to put the title on it for 2.5 years this whole time, bro. Please.
You stumbled into doing something good.
Yeah.
Keep roasting me, John. And I'll
No, I'm on your side. It's just like it is kind of similar to like kind of how AEW fans pretend that AEW planned this Hangman thing this whole time when that they just stumbled into that shit. Their only plan was put it on Jericho. You know it.
Mike, what's your score?
I loved it. 5.
I didn't have nearly as much problems as they did. I'm not going to sit there and try to poke holes in your title picture because I realize I don't give a shit. I didn't think it was that big of a detail. I'm going to go 4.5.
Mike's trying to screw AWC right now.
There's no way, even if I did them all the way 5s across, they wouldn't be able to get it. I'm giving.
He's enjoying the show.
The fix is in.
Don't beat on him because he's enjoying the show. He's a CBW fan. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh shit! He's not rated any of your matches as good before. You gave 2 mid matches. He's over here giving you guys 5.
Apparently we could just rate anything how we feel, so that's fine.
Anyway, go on to you.
All right. We got another match for you.
How many matches do you have total?
We got 8, I believe. Okay. This one is for our CBW Women's Championship. Our champion Io Shirai will defend against Bianca Belair. After Asylum, Io Shirai is backstage with Gilbert Gottfried with an interview to talk about her win. He asked her how she's feeling, and she says she's thankful to be back and on top of the business. Gottfried asked her, "So what's next?" And immediately after he asks, Io is attacked from behind by Bianca Belair. She grabs the mic from Gottfried and shoves him down, saying, "I got next. I did things the right way and got fucked over every single time. No more. I'm taking control of my career and that damn title." She looks down.
TV 14.
We're TV MA.
Yeah, I'm about to say, this heels right here.
And then she looks down at Io and says, "Sorry, it's a bad time to be you."
That's the best story. That's the best promo you've done
Bianca.
so far.
So Io has a match against Billie Kay next week. and Bianca comes through the crowd. And she puts Royce through the announce table, throws Billy Kay into the steps, and brawls in the ring with Io until refs come and break it up. That night, Knoxville comes out and makes this match official for Barely Legal. Bianca Belair will face Io Shirai for the women's title at Barely Legal. The next week, Bianca Belair has a handicap match against the Iconics, and she squashes them in under 3 minutes. After the match, Io comes out with a Singapore cane and beats the shit out of Bianca until she's able to make her run away. She gets on the mic and says, Bianca, you can change all you want, but you will still lose. You know that Io ain't that hot on the promos, so kind of got to keep it short.
I mean, you gave Ricochet some fire fucking promos, and that was bullshit.
Hey, I kept him really basic, though, because I didn't want to give too far above his range. So.
You did the Dean Malenko thing.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah, Malenkos were better.
Yeah, you were writing some fucking heat for Malenko. I think I gave you a 5 because of that. Because I was like, damn, you made me a Dean Malenko fan. No, Travis was shit for Malenko was heat. On the go-home show, the two are brawling around the arena. So basically, throughout the night, the camera's just cutting to them beating the shit out of each other throughout the whole arena. They're just fucking going at it the whole night. Nobody's able to control this thing. They're like fighting in the locker room. They're fighting catering. They're fighting, just fucking going at it, like Peter and the chicken on Family Guy type shit. And the brawl ends when they're fighting in the crowd. Io's able to get a tornado DDT onto the concrete, and then she climbs up to the famous Hammerstein rafter and does a moonsault off the rafter into Bianca. And that is where the bill caps off. Kenny, take us into attires.
All right, so Io Shirai is coming out in green with white trim. Bianca Belair is coming out in yellow with black lip decals on her attire and like a glittery black jacket. She calls the ref down and she's like, "Hey, come carry my hair." So the ref is like carrying her hair to the ring. She's coming out real cocky. The fans are hating it. All right, so the match starts off. Io starts off with leg kicks to wear her down. It ends when Bianca elbows her and immediately drops her. She's like, "These little leg kicks ain't doing shit to me." And she elbows her. She goes for the pin, but Io kicks out at 1, and she's holding the side of her head. Bianca continues to hit her with overhands to her back as she's getting up, but then Io counters with a drop kick. At one point, Io hits the dragon suplex and goes for the pin, but Bianca kicks out at 1. Bianca does a flapjack knee to the chest, and Io is holding the chest. Bianca pins, but Io kicks out at 2. At one point, they have a tug of war over her hair, and then Bianca pulls her in for a lariat. One point, Bianca hits the 3 amigos. Bianca does a buckle bomb to Io. At one point, Io hits a reverse Hurricane Rana. At one point, Bianca is on the apron. Io slingshots herself into a DDT onto the apron. Belair is leaning against the barricade at one point, and Io goes for a running attack, but Bianca does a back body drop to her that has her land on the steps, and the ref comes over to make sure she's okay as she's wincing in pain. Bianca hits a 450 splash one point, but Io breaks out of the pin at 2. Io does the Asai moonsault, but Bianca catches her and rolls backwards with her and hits an Oklahoma slam. Bianca hits a military lift press slam, so she's just showing off her strength, just carrying her around the ring and shit like usual. Io does a monkey flip to her that has her landing on the turnbuckles. One point, Bianca tosses Io out of the ring and grabs the steel steps and hits her several times with it, and then picks her up for a brainbuster and does it on the actual steel steps. Bianca does a suicide elbow, so she's literally does the elbow right to the back of Io's head that throws into the barricade. At one point, Bianca hits a barricade hung DDT. As Io starts to make a comeback with clothesline and running double axe handles, Bianca ends up stopping it with a running drop kick. At one point, Bianca does a choke toss to Io into the corner, and then the match ends when Bianca does a super KOD and it lays Io out. She goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. The crowd boos as Bianca smirks, holding her jaw, and has her hand raised by the ref as she gets her belt.
Damn, I didn't catch it. You did the choke toss earlier. That shit's heat.
Maybe I missed it. Do they use weapons at all during this?
Yeah,
Besides
steel
the
steps. No.
What was the match type again? I'm sorry.
So every match is
Extreme
allowed
rules.
to be extreme rules, but not everybody is fucking grabbing light tubes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Okay.
I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
Don't worry, you'll get your extreme. Don't worry.
Did they do the hair whip spot?
No, I didn't. The only thing I did with the hair is I had them both tug a war over it, and then she like pulled her in and clotheslined her. Other than that, I didn't do any hair whips this time.
Who's she? Io or Bianca?
Io, didn't Io grab her hair?
But they both are pulling on. They're both doing a tug of war over the hair.
Yeah, who did the clothesline?
Bianca did.
Bianca.
Like when she pulled her in with her strength and then clotheslined her
I
because
like that.
she's stronger than her. So she was
I
like,
like
"No,
that.
bitch," and then clotheslined her.
I like that. I'm not mad at this. Go ahead. Somebody else give me. I want to go last.
I'm gonna give you a 4.25.
Okay.
The storyline I think was pretty decent. The reason I asked about the weapons is because you had them like leading up to it, like beating the shit out of each other with like weapons and everything, and then they get to the match and they don't use any weapons. When they
There's only one weapon that happened. That was just the Singapore cane. They didn't.
But like you
do a ton.
also like had them like fighting all over the arena and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I felt like
and they still did because they were fighting in the front row and they were using the barricade stuff like that. But I didn't want this one to be weapon heavy. I just wanted them to be like they want to fuck each other up. That's the thing about it. Sometimes it's not always I want to grab a weapon. Sometimes I want to put these hands on you.
I wish there was like just one or two more weapon spots. For
Okay.
like the way you guys built it up, like I just feel the way like it's one of those personal feuds where you should have built it up to like having. I'm not saying it need to be a million weapons or anything, but like use a Singapore cane or use a chair, something like that. Even if you had her do the super KOD onto a chair, like I think that would have been cool and would have leaned into the build you did. But overall, I'll give you like I said 4.25.
I'll take it.
Yeah, she did do a brainbuster onto the steps, and like I said, they were using the barricade a lot with this. But I wanted this to be more wrestling heavy than weapons. I didn't want every match to be fucking Sandman doing shit. Like
Yeah, because only I'm rating that show high. That's a me show. And Kenny don't got me to give him 5s for it.
How about you, Travis? You ready?
No, it's not.
Travis wants to go last. Mike, what do you think, Mike?
Next. It's a women's match, so
I loved it. I'm giving it a 5.
There you go.
We're still in this shit. Top of the morning. Top of the morning.
I'm also going to give you a 5. But I just want to put it out there that this is very, very peculiar of Mike to be giving you
a Travis 5. That's a real accomplishment. Though Travis never gives 5s. So I'm pretty proud of that. Even if we get last place, we have nothing to show for all this. We got a Travis 5. I don't give a fuck. I don't think anybody else has ever gotten that.
we got a Travis 5.
Oh yeah, y'all got one this week.
Taz versus Triple H.
Maybe Travis is just turning face. I don't know. But I'll fuck with it.
You still got a long way to go.
Don't worry, it's all good shit from here. It's all good shit from here. All right, let me get the next story. Put me up.
You must go ahead. You already know I'm excited for this. Because my boys.
Yep, the CBW Tag Team Championships are on the line as the Rude Ones will defend against the Gatherers. So here's how our build.
Again?
Sean O'Hare and Baron Corbin.
Okay.
So the Rude Ones are on cloud 9 after Asylum as they've beaten every single team in CBW. They're insisting that they're so bored of wrestling that maybe they'll sell real estate or start a band or do movies. Dancing with the Stars? Dating show? Maybe
hold on. Some real estate is drastically different. They're going on Dancing with the Stars.
They're bored.
They're saying they can do whatever they want to do.
The Rude Ones can fuck around and do whatever they want.
They're that over. They can do whatever they want.
I'm just gonna open up I'm gonna work at Target.
They'll Uber.
We can do anything now.
Maybe even start our own crypto coin. The Rude Ones are the best tag team in the world and bigger than wrestling.
Hold on. We need Rude Ones NFTs.
Rude coins.
Yes.
Rude coins.
They're gonna have the fucking just Rick Rude's abs lathered in oil sold as an NFT. The Rude Ones. All right. So the next week they announced their new dating show, Rude Love, where 30 women can attempt to impress the Rude Ones. As the first vignette for it airs, the airwaves are intercepted as Raven, James Mitchell, and the Gatherers take over the screen. Everyone is frustrated as they've been doing this regularly since Asylum. James Mitchell says that the Rude Ones did not defeat the Gatherers or really even escape them. They only prolonged their inevitable punishment. The rude ones are hedonistic, arrogant, and vain. They too will pay. No amount of distractions can make the judgment go away. The rude ones leave the ring saying that they already beat those bums. The rude ones come out next week in business suits, saying not only will women compete for their love on Rude Love, but everyone can compete on the stock market and invest in Rude Coin. They say that they'll pick one lucky fan in the audience to win $1,000 in Rude Coin. They shine a spotlight on the winner, but the lights go out, and then they come back on to show O'Hare choking out the fan in the stands. The camera cuts back to the ring, showing Corbin with the barbed wire 2x4 whacking Robert Roode in the back before Rick Rude can roll out and pull Robert out of the ring with him. The last week, before Barely Legal, the Rude ones open the show backstage asking various people if they've seen Miss Elizabeth. No one has. The clips of them searching go throughout the show. The Rude ones go out to the ring and call out the Gatherers, saying they know who's behind this. They say that the Gatherers couldn't get it done as wrestlers, so they sold themselves like a couple of desperate whores to get pimped out by Johnny Polo. Lights go out, and the Gatherers appear on the screen with Mitchell, Raven, and Elizabeth tied up in a chair with their mouth taped. Mitchell says that the Rude ones have two choices. They can either put their titles on the line in a match of their choosing, theirs being the Gatherers, at Barely Legal, or Elizabeth can never be seen again. Will you choose selfishness and leisure, or will you do the right thing for the first time? Rick says everyone in CBW is tired of their games. Trump, Knoxville, and every other subpar wrestler in the locker room. Who better than to solve this issue than the undefeated GOAT of wrestling tag teams, the Rude ones? Bring her back, and you've got your match. The lights go out, and Elizabeth is left in the ring with the Rude ones still tied up. It gets to the show, and as the match is about to begin, James Mitchell goes over to Mr. Kennedy, and Kennedy announces that the match will be a Flaming Tables match. Kenny, take him to the attires.
Yeah. All right. So the Gatherers come out in brown vests and brown pants with black stitching. They coming out looking nasty. It's just brown.
Doo-doo brown.
Doo-doo brown.
Like Shawn Michaels in the Elimination Chamber. Yeah.
Oh,
that's not even doo-doo. That's like no fiber brown.
But a little bit lighter.
So they got a little bit of fiber in this.
Yeah, a little bit lighter. So brown
Michaels
vest.
was like that color doo-doo was like they had eaten like a vegetable in months.
And they don't have shirts underneath either. It's just brown vest and then brown jeans with black stitching. They coming out looking nasty.
Yuck.
And then for the Rude ones, Rihanna comes out in a black t-shirt that says Forever Rude. And she comes out singing, "Come here, Rude boy, can you get it up? Come here, Rude boy, get it up, take it. Then she's going in. Then the Rude ones are coming out. And swinging their hips as the song's playing. They're swinging their hips. And they got baby blue robes on with white trunks with baby blue lettering and glitter.
There's a lot of white and blue tonight.
So what?
There's a lot of white and blue tonight.
Oh yeah. And Miss Elizabeth has on like an A's workout attire with like a black singlet. She's got black leggings, baby blue shoes, baby blue headband, and a pink shirt that exposes the shoulder. You know, the one with the shoulder out. Them old school shirts. Elizabeth walks up to the camera. Rick Rude has a sucker in his mouth. And when they get in the ring, he puts the sucker in the ref's mouth. He's like, "Take that for me."
Ew.
It's disgusting.
That spreads the pandemic.
Yeah, he's like, "Take this," and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he calls for the microphone.
Doesn't care about COVID.
Oh no, we don't. then he calls for the microphone, and he goes, "Rude." Hello,
Wait,
boys and girls.
What?
That's what they do. They go rude.
Kitty, you're
It's like, "Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, whatever pronoun makes you feel comfortable in the crowd. We know you enjoyed the beautiful Rihanna. Now, who wants to see the Rude ones take another one home?" They get mixed reviews from the crowd. You know, there's a couple. Let's go, Rude ones. Rude one sucks. Let's go. That chant's going on in the crowd. He's like, "But before we start kicking these gothic bitches' asses, before we whoop on these swagless Neanderthals, before we beat up on these emo jackasses, I got one last thing to say." And the Gatherers are just pacing back and forth while they're doing all this. And they just start elbowing them. Like they elbow the Gatherers. He's like, "Psych, bitch." And they just start going in and attacking them. So they got a little surprise attack here.
Wait. So Rick Rude says "psych, bitch"
Yes, it's like shit, elbows him in the back of the head.
Also, remind me one more time who the gatherers are.
Baron Corbin, Sean O'Hare.
Yuck.
Hey, that's why they got that.
I just meant to think that. I didn't mean to say that. That's my bad.
That's why they got that dude. Hey, don't act like they ain't good
Doo-doo Brown.
wrestlers, but also that's why they got the Doo-Doo Brown.
So the Rude ones are like taking turns kicking O'Hare in the gut in the corner. They turn around and when they turn around to get double clothesline by Baron Corbin. Rick Rude is sitting at one point. Rick Rude is hurt, sitting leaning on the turnbuckles. O'Hare does a T-bone suplex to Robert Roode to hit the turnbuckles and Rick Rude in the corner. So I don't know if you understand what's going on. So basically, like he hits a T-bone suplex on one person and he hits the other one when he lands.
Okay.
O'Hare goes for a suicide dive on the Rick Rude outside of the ring. Rick moves and O'Hare hits the barricade. Rick Rude's holding his chest like he's like, whew, like he's seen his life flash before his eyes. And then he takes a nacho from the guy in the front row and eats it. He's like, definitely worth the money. I recommend that. And then Robert hits a belly suplex on Corbin and kips up. He leans against the ropes and winks at the camera. Corbin and O'Hare hits a double brainbuster on Robert Roode. At one point, Miss Elizabeth climbs the top rope and hits a crossbody on O'Hare. And she gets up all hype because, she doesn't really wrestle. She gets up all hype. But she doesn't see Corbin behind her with a smirk on his face. And she turns around finally, and he lifts her up in like a fallaway slam position. But Robert runs in the ring and drop kicks her back. So then she like lands on him. Robert goes for a diving moonsault on Corbin, but he catches him. Robert rolls his body backwards and then turns into a DDT or reverse DDT. One point, Corbin is leaning against the ropes. The Rude ones do a double clothesline that flips him out of the ring. Then Rick cups his hands like this and nods his head, and Robert starts running, and then he steps off Rick's hands and does a rolling senton to Corbin, and they both hit the apron. So they're showing their athletic ability this match. O'Hare has a Rick Rude in a stunner position, and with the other hand, he has Robert Roode in a reverse DDT position, then drops down to hit them both. He goes for the pin on Rick, but Rick kicks out. One point, Robert runs at Corbin, but Corbin turns into a deep six. He goes for the pin, but he kicks out. Rude ones hit a double Rude bottom on Corbin. They both have a push-up contest right there. Rick Rude wins.
Is that like a rock bottom?
Yeah, it's a rock bottom. They call it a Rude bottom. At one point, Rick Rude clotheslines both the gatherers out of the ring, then drops down and gets on all fours. Robert Roode runs and does the top con hilo off his back and out of the ring to both the gatherers. Rick Rude has Robert Roode in a doomsday position as they suplex Sean O'Hare off the top rope. As Snoop Dogg yells out, "The Rudeplex!" I was hoping we would see that. That's like their finishing tag team move. They go for the pin, but they kick out. Or not the pin, my fault, not the pin. But Rick Rude gets on a turnbuckle and extends himself real slow. And Robert Roode tags his leg. Rick does a diving moonsault, but Sean O'Hare pulls Corbin's legs, and so he's out of the way. Rick Rude gets up holding his stomach. O'Hare Irish whips Rick into Corbin as he hits the end of days. And when he turns around, Robert hits the glorious DDT. Rick Rude is on the apron at one point, leaning against the ropes from the apron, exhausted. Corbin sets the table on fire behind him. O'Hare does a running slingshot crossbody that sends him through the table. The ref calls the match, and Robert looks on at his partner, laid out outside of the ring. Corbin elbows him from behind. The ref is begging Corbin to stop. Corbin drags him up the entrance ramp, and Corbin reveals something huge underneath a tarp on the side of the entrance beside the ramp. He pulls the tarp off, and it's revealed to be two tables stacked on one another. He sets the top table on fire. Robert tries to fight back, but Corbin bicycle knees him. He picks up his lifeless body and he hits the sidewalk slam off the side and then through the tables as the ref and Miss Elizabeth look off in horror. Last shot, we see the gatherers light a match as their faces glare into the camera, and Corbin blows the match out.
So wait, so the gatherers won, right?
Yeah, the gatherers already won. They threw like I can't remember who's off to the side.
They threw Rick out.
Basically, Rick Rude was on the apron. And then we saw O'Hare do a running slingshot crossbody, like kind of like how Cody Rhodes did the Shaq, like that move. He went like that, but they went through the table to win the match. But then, just to be dickheads, they beat up on Robert Roode and they dragged him up the top of the ramp because the match is already over with at this point. The ref's like, "Please stop!" Miss Elizabeth was like screaming for him to stop. And then they hits the sidewalk slam off the entrance ramp and onto the tables that was off to the side.
Okay. You want to go first, Travis?
I don't have a number, but I have some comments.
Go ahead.
Can I hear your comments?
Yeah.
I have a number, but it might change depending on your comments.
I don't. Here's the thing. I really wanted the rude ones to turn babyface, and then they did it, and I didn't like it.
No, they're not baby faces. They're not baby faces.
Well, they faced the heels.
They're just less.
It's heels on heels. There's heels on heels.
They worked as baby faces.
They did. It did feel like they were the baby.
They were even if they're not baby faces going forward, they were the baby faces of this feud.
Right. They were just less heel.
They feel like baby faces.
Yeah, that's what it was. They weren't baby faces.
Yeah, they were still assholes.
They didn't really do anything heel though.
But they were saying that
they were nowhere near as assholes as they usually are.
No, they still said that the whole roster's a bunch of bums. They're above wrestling. All the same shit they've always done. Like they're still talking their shit and they're still trying to get out of wrestling a match. They weren't even going to try to wrestle this match until they fucking kidnapped Miss Elizabeth.
Also, that's another thing. Another abduction.
There was only one. The other one didn't happen. You made that up.
He didn't explain it.
It's a mystery.
You know what
what assuming does the most?
You know what else is a mystery, John?
What?
Evolution.
That's a bar.
So here's my thing though. This was, technically, like, you want to be real. X-Pac kidnapped a woman. And then X-Pac he demanded a match. And you got that match.
X-Pac was trying to fuck her. The Gatherers ain't fucking nothing. There's some incels. There's some incels.
They come out in Doodle Brown suits or Doodle Brown vests and jeans. They ain't trying to fuck shit. They out here to whoop ass.
Yeah. Also keep in mind their motive. They are paired with Raven. Keep in mind that motive as well. So they're with Raven. So it's not some like I want Miss Elizabeth, but she say no to me, so I kidnap her like X-Pac. This is the rude ones will not let us take control of their titles, so we're gonna fucking hold her until you do it. And they threatened to fucking kill her. I don't think X-Pac even went that far. Like
overall, I'm not. Yeah, he did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh damn, X-Pac a full fucking psycho then.
Yeah, exactly. That was the whole point of the storyline, was that he was a psychopath.
X-Pac eat hot Cheetos for breakfast.
Like a ratchet girl.
He wears black forces.
I'll be honest, I don't have a number still yet, but I didn't like this as much as I thought I would.
That's an L.
I don't 100%. Like, there were points where I'm like, I don't know if I like this. But then I thought about it and I'm like, I actually kind of enjoyed it. Like, I feel like the Rude ones got a little too
corny.
Yeah. Like, they got a little too, like,
they're always
anime. I don't know how to put it.
I feel like they may have ran their course.
They were a little too animated. But I do think you had the right people win.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a 4.75.
Ooh, I'll take
I don't have anything like dramatically that I didn't.
Yeah,
like.
Travis, listen to that fucking god that right there.
Mike, you want to give your 5 so I can.
Simone looking sexy
be
right
the
now.
bearer of bad news.
So, I like that the Rude ones lost. I thought that was great to put over this new team.
The Gatherers are canon now too. Doodoo Brown, baby.
Doodoo Brown.
I don't know if they're surviving past that.
I'm gonna go 4.75.
Let's go. Doodoo Brown.
And
Doodoo Brown. Travis, go ahead and give your rating. Give us our 2.
You're not getting a 2. I did because I think there were good points to the match. It was a little bit above mid. It wasn't no fucking 4.75. They're fried. It was like a 3.75 though.
I always thought you fucked up and you made it a pin because I heard you said pin, but you corrected yourself.
Yeah, I was waiting for Kenny to catch himself. I was like, wait, Kenny.
I did. I said it, and I was like, I didn't mean to say that. I was like, I didn't mean to say that.
You said something about him tagging, right? They weren't tagging in and out, right?
No, they weren't tagging.
Kenny did a lot of shit by instinct there.
I did.
He was saying some shit that wasn't written down, and I was like, bruh.
I'm not gonna dog you for that. But
I did do that.
If I would
did
have
do
caught
that.
it, I'd have docked you, but I didn't catch it. So.
No, it's one of those. It's one of those things where like I was
Instinct
already
got
writing
him.
the match, and then the stipulation was in there, and then I was changing stuff around. I just didn't catch it when I wrote it out.
No,
So I was just
feel
reading.
it.
I was just reading, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" And I realized after I said this shit, I was like, "Hopefully they catch this shit I'm saying."
Remember when John Morrison was supposed to enter first in the story? He entered
He entered last.
first.
Your punishment is you enter first. Entrant number 6, John Morrison.
He paid them motherfuckers off. So our next match is going to be for the CBW TV Championship.
This is match 5.
Yes, so CBW TV Championship versus CBW Career. Keith Lee will defend his TV Championship against Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, the expose on Keith Lee is promoted to continue on Turmoil. Jericho gives a recap of the highlight reel when he revealed the clause in Keith Lee's contract and the debate where Kendrick dodged questions about how he got Lee to accept. He says he's not done getting to the bottom of why the accomplished wrestler and now TV champion allowed himself to become a goon for Brian Kendrick. So let's continue. We found out last that Keith Lee sold 2 vehicles for money quickly before signing a contract that gives him huge bonuses for Kendrick winning and retaining the title. So, broke ass Keith Lee, get on out here.
It would have been better if you had Pat McAfee, but you don't.
No, we got Snoop Dogg and Funaki.
CB
Your team, hold on. Your entire roster is disgusting. You got Donald Trump, Johnny Knoxville, Snoop Dogg, Funaki, and Gilbert Godfrey.
And Mr. Kennedy.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yuck!
But at this point, if I'm watching CBW, I know what I'm in for.
You're in for
And apparently you love it.
great entertainment is what you're in
No,
for, baby.
I didn't think somebody else was gonna be trolling like I was, and then we end up matching trolls again and shit. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, you're the people who work for CBW are nasty.
They're stressed. They're stressed right now. The writers,
They're like
"God
Travis
damn it."
Scott's PR team right now.
Damn it.
So back to broke ass. So Lee comes out with a huge scowl and gets right in Jericho's face. The crowd is starting to split between the two. Jericho continues, so Keith, what drove you to this point? What went wrong? Keith says what went wrong was how he was treated. Everybody knows my talent, my charisma, my ability to excite these fans. But it resulted in nothing. I was never in title matches. I never got to wrestle the big names. I had to beg for a match with Brock. And Jericho interrupts, saying, and you blew it! Keith says, you're right. I did. I hope you're having fun laughing at my past failures right now. Because I'm making money. I have a title you don't have. Maybe I had to do some things I didn't love, but we've all been there. Who's really the underdog here? You're the big name burying the new guy. You're the one wrapped up in other projects. So before any fan judges me, look at this guy and understand how the gimmick isn't who Chris Jericho really is. Keith Lee drops the mic and walks away. The crowd is kind of mixed, partially cheering for Keith, partially booing him. They're kind of on the edge here. The next week, Jericho comes out, says that Keith Lee got everything he wanted. He got money. He got the big match. He got a title. So why is he still working for Kendrick? It's because he's greedy. Keith Lee is willing to sell out his values to get ahead. He doesn't deserve your sympathy. Lee comes out and says Jericho is a hypocrite for talking about greed when his salary is still more than he'd get with the bonuses. All that money to do what? You've lost every big match you've been in. You've had multiple title shots and earned none of them because of your name. You have a lot of nerve to come out here and humiliate me and my family when you haven't had to struggle in decades. The crowd starts to cheer for Lee as he says this. Lee says he has some good news for Chris, saying that he'll give him one more unearned title match. The crowd boos. However, Chris, tell Fozzy to get ready for a long tour, because if I win, which I will, you will leave CBW for good. The crowd cheers.
I have a question. Hold on. Time out.
What's up?
Damone,
Yes.
didn't you book Luchas de Puestas matches? Or didn't you do
Yeah, we did.
I thought that was for hair.
No, it's any wager. It's a wager match.
I thought that was just for hair too. I thought that's just for hair.
It's hair versus hair, mask versus mask.
So do I gotta take
Count,
this
it's all
off
the
or
same
do I
thing.
gotta take a
No.
tax?
You gotta
You'll
take
just take a
tax.
tax.
Continue.
All right, I thought. Sorry, I always thought that was like for hair and masks and like appearance related shit.
Yeah, it's any wager.
Yeah, I
Damn.
didn't think of that. Good catch, Travi.
Fuck you, Travis Scott. I hate this motherfucker. It's the seventh side all over again. Y'all pick the weirdest shit. God damn, demoted his draft picks. His miscellaneous is always some weird ass shit. God, fuck this guy. Where even was I? The next week, Gottfried interviews Kendrick and Lee about their upcoming matches. Every time he asks Lee a question, Kendrick answers for him. Gottfried asks Lee why this match is so important to him, and Kendrick goes for the mic, but Lee snatches it away from him and says that barely legal, I'm going to right the wrongs of my career and show that I am the future of this company when I send Chris Jericho into the past. The crowd cheers until Kendrick grabs the mic and says, worry about the future later. Right now, I am the present, and it's going to stay that way for a long, long time. And then ends the interview. Jericho comes out to do a comedic segment called Budgeting with Keith Lee and jokes about Lee's financial problems. The jokes are super dated and lowbrow, such as saying he spent all his money on food, on the strip club, and all sorts of terrible jokes. As it goes on, the segment gets worse and the crowd becomes less interested, realizing that Jericho is just being condescending at this point. And they start to chant, "Shut the fuck up!" And the crowd is completely turned on Jericho. Lee comes out to a big cheer, but Kendrick follows him out and dulls the reaction. Kendrick begins to speak, but Lee takes the mic, throws it, and walks to the ring. Jericho tries to run at him on the entrance ramp, but Lee throws him over a barricade into the fans. Jericho runs off through the crowd, and Kendrick is bitching out Lee as they walk away. So, Kenny, take us to the attires.
All right, Keith Lee comes out in blue trunks with Lee written in gold. And then Chris Jericho comes out in his Y2J Save Us black tights with blue and white lettering.
Damn, Kenny really did go Crip Gang on this show.
Right. There's so much blue. I hate it. Also, Shawn Michaels versus Ricochet look like tag team partners.
It's
They
because
got the same color scheme.
We gotta have the fucking
there.
blue Tista. Yeah, Snoop Dogg's like,
Nothing red in this building.
The only thing red was
We gotta
Johnny
change-
Gargano's hat.
we gotta change our name to BBW. No, CBW.
Yeah, BBW.
The C is for crib. The C is
Yes,
for
big
crib.
one.
CCW. CCW.
All right,
Cold-blooded wrestling.
so Y2J immediately so Y2J immediately goes for running enziguri on Lee. Like literally, as soon as the match starts, he just hits him with the enziguri. Jericho does the literally as soon as the match starts. Ding ding ding, like just Jericho does a leg kick, then slaps the back of his head. You know, SmackDown, shut your mouth style. It's like, pow, and he's like, oh, bitch. And he does that. Jericho spears Lee through the barricade. One point, Lee does a belly-to-belly suplex that sends Jericho out of the ring. Lee hops up, and he's hopping up and down, getting hype. And then he runs and does a Fosbury flop as the crowd chants, holy shit, holy shit. Jericho does a running springboard dropkick to Lee on the apron. Lee hits Jericho with a pounce. One point, Lee does a diving tornado complete shot. Lee is sitting on the apron with his back resting against the ring post. Jericho does a run dropkick to his head. At one point, Jericho the apron does a slingshot spear, but Lee catches him with a complete shot and does a Koji clutch. At one point, Lee yells out, "You just made the list," and goes for a lion salt, but Jericho gets up and hits him with a code breaker. He goes for the pin, 1, 2, but he kicks out barely before 3. Lee goes for a Walls of Jericho, but Jericho punches him in the head several times to get out of it. They get into a forearm smash exchange until Lee headbutts him and then does a lift to drop him. At one point, Lee goes for a crossface, but Jericho uses his legs to get the rope break. Jericho hits a T-bone suplex, then kips up and hits a running enziguri. And then Jericho does the Walls of Jericho and he has it locked in for a while. Lee uses his legs to flip him over, but when he gets up, his leg's in a lot of pain. And then the match ends with Lee hitting a super tiger bomb for the 1, 2, 3.
I have a question. Extreme Rules. Are there rope breaks?
No. Oh no, yes, there is. Actually, there is.
There is rope breaks.
There's no count outs, and then you can use weapons.
CBW did rope breaks and shit like that too. Granted, if somebody doesn't break the rope, there's no real consequence. But that's the whole in ECW's logic, not ours.
Well, you're using their logic, so
Yeah. But I'm not arguing with Paul Heyman. I'm not arguing with ECW.
We just trying to take away points no matter what, man.
No,
we have to. Mike's giving you the full fucking stimulus package.
They're the experts.
Look at Mike, because Mike likes the show.
Mike has been a silent investor this week for fucking
right.
CBW.
He's the one paying fucking Keith Lee's salary.
So this is the second match in a row
y'all said earlier that Mike is Trump. He really is.
This is the second match in a row.
This Trump
or not?
This Trump, not the real life one. This Trump.
I don't like this Trump either.
Oh yeah, that's only Travis.
I don't like any version of Trump.
Travis is Team Trump in this universe.
Travis was
Not
Team
anymore.
Trump.
Not anymore.
Oh, I forgot to say, after the match, Kendra catches Lee backstage and saying, "Congrats on the big win. Listen, I'm sorry I've been so tough on you. It's just a stress, man. Is the pain still intact for tonight?" Then Lee walks away.
Oh, the plan's still intact, and then Lee walks away from him, and that'll make a little bit more sense when another match happens. But that's kind of a build-up. But yeah,
this is the second match in a row where I feel like there's two heels.
So can I point some out before you continue on that part?
Sure.
This was a double turn, as clear as day.
Yeah, but the double turn felt forced. It felt like you told us there was a double turn, but at no point do I feel like the actual double turn would have happened.
100%.
So let me make sense of it then, because Keith Lee's been on the verge of this for a while. And it really happens with that comedy segment is the final nail, because you know how there's just that one segment that's just so fucking awful that fans just grow to hate the person involved. Kind of like for a little while, Sami Zayn with the Bobby Lashley sister thing, or Alexa Bliss with the "This Is Your Life." It's supposed to be like one of those kind of segments that just makes everybody fucking cringe at Jericho. He's just being as low brow, dated, just fucking. This is when, like, because remember from the beginning of this feud, people are starting to think that Jericho's punching down. He's being an asshole. Keith points out that he's, a name. He's never struggled in decades. He's burying the new guy, and then that comedy segment was really what did it in, because Jericho really just made a fucking ass of himself.
I don't see Jericho as. I don't see how people would see Jericho punching down, seeing as Jericho doesn't have a title and Keith Lee does. So how is that?
So he's making all these like financial struggle jokes, like making fat jokes, all this like really lowbrow shit, and the fact that Chris Jericho, and this is keeping some past background in this. Look what Chris Jericho's done in his career versus what Keith Lee's done in his career up to this point. Like, this isn't like retirement Jericho, but even in prime Jericho, he's won so many titles. His name is already so big. Like, it really, even though Jericho's been on like a losing streak as of late, he's still punching down. He's still a way bigger star. That's kind of where I was going.
You softened it, but I still feel like there's a hole there.
I'll be honest.
The comedy segment is where he really makes an ass of himself, though. That was the turning point.
So I felt like he was a heel the whole time. And I feel like Keith Lee's been a heel the whole time. And I see what you're trying to build sympathy on, but at the end of the day, he's a hired gun doing shitty things. That's still a heel.
Yeah, but how shitty are his actions really, though? He's just helping a shitty guy win matches. It's not like he's fucking like doing what
exactly, that's shitty.
He's cheating in a sport, but he's not like fucking like Raven in the Gatherers. He's not fucking kidnapping people.
But he's still cheating in the sport.
He's cheating in the sport.
He hasn't done anything redeemable. Like, he's not done anything for me. Like, if honestly, I should not. I don't really like either of them.
I don't either.
It's kind of like fuck both of them.
Well, it's like the situation is, you see that Keith Lee was kind of in a corner. He made some decisions, and he kind of was like, "Hey, we've all had to do some shitty things to get where we are, like to get ahead." Like, that's kind of where I was going with it, trying to be like relatable. Like, we've all had to work a shitty job. We've all had to like do things that we don't necessarily want to do to get ahead.
No,
in
I
life.
wish you wrote that.
Well, I did say that in a lesser way. I said that with the bar in the first promo. I'll pull it back up. So he says,
hold on.
Sorry.
Don't go any further. Because I've got a problem with what's going on right now. I feel like every match we've had to have several post-match explanations as to what you meant to say or what you were trying to do or what you wanted to do that none of us caught on to.
It's because it's literally
at least me and Damone. Mike's in his own world. I don't know what the fuck.
It's not literally on your TV screen though, so it's literally up to the
I feel like
interpretation.
Mike's listening to music right now.
No, I'm just listening to you guys bicker.
Yeah, right here. Maybe
This is literally
this is literally on the screen. I said this in the promo. Maybe I had to do some things I didn't want to do that I didn't love. We've all been there. He literally said that in the promo.
Yeah, but that's like a minute thing. That's not gonna make me like him. Like if he
this is all
like,
back.
Like why he's like if you went into more detail and talked about like I made some bad choices with my finances. That's why
I think nobody caught what I said.
Like that.
No, I didn't know what you said.
What'd you say?
I didn't. Yeah, I was like, he was sucking. No,
I wish he went into more like detail because like it kind of feels like Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott, where it's fuck them both.
Got you. And I did kind of like some of the thing that I've done before, where like I say a line and I expect that to kind of gist it, but I should have went into more detail on that. I see your point.
But overall, or you want to give a score first?
Go ahead. Because I want to.
No, you go first.
I want to know if I'm being a dick, so you go. First.
You go first.
Here's where it all falls apart.
Yeah, I was not a fan of any of this. I don't think the match would be that great. I think the match would be mid.
We're talking prime Jericho here. Like, hold on.
Yeah, but Keith Lee's fine. Jericho, it's not going to be that great.
That's an L.
That's fine. I'll take that L. But the storyline to me was not good really at all. This harkens back to the first match you guys had where I feel like there was no real redeeming qualities here because to me, again, it's a heel versus heel. Last time I thought you were at least trying with the Rude Ones to make them baby faces, but y'all explained to me that you weren't. They're just heel versus heel again. There's fundamental story and John, like I'm really talking to you because like I know you like feel the story is very important. So like fundamental storytelling is there's got to be a good guy and a bad guy. Like I understand like if you did one match on the card where it was two heels, cool. But this is literally two heels back to back.
This is not so. Keith Lee is not supposed to be a heel.
Do you think that the crowd's going to cheer him?
Yes.
Why?
Well, you don't know. You don't believe that because you wrote in your bill that there were half of them were cheering, half of them were booing.
At the beginning of the feud. As it goes on, the crowd starts to lean more towards Lee's favor as Jericho keeps fucking doing this shit.
Well, I got something to tell you, VKM. You're wrong. The crowd is booing. That's why me and Damone are having the same problems with this. I'm gonna give you 2.5.
Okay, so I was gonna give you a 3.75, but I gotta tax you because you don't own.
Oh, I got tax you too, so 2.25.
No, you don't get the tax for that. That's the most tax.
No, I get tax. You didn't follow the rules.
So I gotta tax
this
you.
Is bullshit.
So I'm gonna give you a 3.25. 50-cent tax.
I only gave you a quarter, so there you go.
You don't have a right to tax us.
I don't blame you for not knowing. One, it's in Spanish, and two, I also thought it was hair. To
be fair,
so I'm not going to tax you for that.
I did say I better not see this versus this or any wagers in any of y'all matches.
He did say that.
Why would I remember something that would have happened?
That was like 6 months ago.
Right. There's no fucking way.
Well, Mike, it wouldn't have hurt you because you were on my team.
I understand
I
that.
don't remember that.
I made it very clear.
We were still in this shit till then. It's all over now.
I think I would like the match.
Also, I didn't like. Sorry, to cut you off, Mike. Jericho's spear and Keith Lee didn't feel right.
He's done the spears before.
I don't know about on Keith Lee.
Keith Lee will sell it. Keith Lee was doing all kind of crazy shit this match. He did a Fosbury flop.
You're telling me it happened, so I have to believe it happened.
Yeah, he's not. There you go, Mike. That's okay. Look, that's how it's supposed to be.
Who the fuck is he?
No, because I've been saying
High
that
five,
since
Mike.
BookItVerse
High five,
1.
Mike.
I said if we wrote it down the match, you can't say I don't think they would have a good match. You just heard the match.
I
just
agree
wrote
with
it
you.
That is
I
argument.
agree with you.
That is arguments that people have told me have said against me, and I think you know what? I'm not gonna hold you back because I don't think it would happen. You told me it happened.
This is clear.
So we're
conspiracy at
going-
this point.
There
This
you
is
go.
ridiculous.
I'm going with a 4.
There you go.
Ah!
This is ridiculous.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest
we're
with
we're
y'all.
dead in the water already, Travis. So like you already.
That's fine. I'm just telling you, this is. You guys should be insulted because Mike's not really grading you guys.
Mike's the GOAT.
Let's be real.
Mike's
He's not
the GOAT.
giving you guys a real grade at all.
Mike's the GOAT. Well, you're giving me bullshit taxes on something that ain't even yours. So
No, it's you
fuck
got
you.
taxed. You didn't get taxed for
I'm not
using
gonna
my
sit
product.
here. I'm not gonna sit here and pick apart his fucking.
You do it
his
for everybody
cruiserweight-
else. Why not
where
this
his
time?
Cruiserweight fucking title is at his 4th pay-per-view at the end for the
That's the
last
whole point.
pay-per-view.
That's why we're here.
Why are you?
Was the-
Why are you
He's
here,
not
Mike?
gonna carry
What are
this
you
in
doing?
for the fucking in 6 months. Like let's
I'm
go.
focused. I'm
Yeah,
focused.
So,
on
so
this
Mike,
pay-per-view.
what you just told us was you don't care about this episode, so the audience shouldn't care about
That's
this
not
episode.
what I said.
That's what you just fucking said.
That's not what I said.
Cap.
That's
He's
not
just
what
saying
I
that
said.
he's saying that some of the stuff you'll be pointing out is dumb, and he's right.
No, it's not. That's the whole point. We focus in on each and
especially
dissect every single
Travis.
match.
Travis is known for finding the dumbest shit to point out.
Don't do the
You're
dumb-
one to fucking talk.
Right. We can't, Travis, John will be like, they had a match 22 years ago. That's a 25 minute.
Hey, y'all like it? What happens to you, huh? I smell that salt, Simone.
Stir
I
that
smell it.
motherfucking pot.
Yeah, I'm salty about that.
Add some salt
It all-
to the pot.
We
Hey,
were
I'm
having we were having such a smooth travel until that point. It all just fell apart. We just having fun for the rest of this show. It's over. We were like,
I'm still waiting to hear two words.
I want to see
Extreme
some.
championship.
Anyway, let me
You'll hear it, don't
hold
worry.
the fuck on. Hold the fuck on. Let me go back and tell you why I taxed John before I got
Shut the
fucking
fuck
interrupted.
up.
Man.
Shut
You
the
shut
fuck
the
up.
fuck up. I taxed you not because you used my property. I taxed you because you couldn't follow the fucking rules. That's why
I
you got
didn't
taxed.
know.
That's not ignorance is not an excuse.
Yes, it is.
I was gonna say none of us knew that though. None of us knew that fell in that category. But it's
knew it.
fine though. It's-
Damone, did you know?
Once you pointed it out, yeah, because I
Yeah, Damone didn't even know if he
he
pointed
didn't
it out.
even know. He didn't even know. None of us
Hey,
knew.
Damone
Damone didn't
I was still
remember.
ta-
And
I
he
was still
remembered
take
the
my tax
six-sided
like a
ring.
man. I'm
He
still take my
pointed
tax
it-
like a man, but
Damone
still
didn't-
though, it's like that's
hold up,
that's wild.
Hold up, Travis. Hold up, Travis. Damone heckled me about an inch of ring for months, and he didn't remember that shit.
Hey,
Okay,
listen,
okay. To be fair, you were tripping on that, John.
You would not give up that one.
he drafted TNA's ring. That was his special thing. He was like, I'm going to the same exact thing, but just go.
Hey, I drew up the model. I drew up the model and showed him the flow chart, motherfucker.
It doesn't
That's,
work.
that's
Hey,
nasty.
But all I'm saying is, just call me IRS from now on because I'm coming for these taxes.
Oh my
No,
fucking
no.
god. Travis is just mad because we're having a good show. So here's what I want at the end of this, Kenny. When you're doing that data,
No, because
run me
I'm always the fucking fall guy when this shit happens. It happened the
Run-
first
no, no,
BookItVerse.
no,
Happened
no,
my third
no, no.
pay-per-view when I had dream matches. Now it's happening again. It's some
No,
bullshit.
Kenny,
The collusion
Kenny,
against me
Kenny.
is ridiculous. I'm sick of it. This is why I had
want
a
you-
pipe bomb. I'm sick of this shit.
I want
Sick
the
of this
raw
shit.
score
This
without
is the
this
Kenny I
match.
want. This is the Kenny we.
But
This is the
the
Kenny
bad
we
guy is
wanted
coming
on
out.
Book
I'm coming with all kind of
Kenny, when
crazy
you drop
jokes
that
now.
data, when you drop that data, drop it without this match in it, and watch us have the number to win this shit. And they pull this shit on purpose to hold us back. Anyway, Mike,
I'm not holding you back.
thank you, base Mike.
I'm letting
Thank you.
CBW shine this week.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
I'm just gonna release the transcripts on the Bookit's Twitter of where Mike said that he was gonna rate you guys high so you guys would beat us. Just so you know.
It was
First of all,
Damone
we
who
all
said that.
talk a lot of shit in that
Damone
fucking chat.
said
No, we
that.
don't follow through, bitch. You did.
I'm not.
You're a
I don't
cheater.
follow
You're
through.
a
I'm
cheater.
actually
You're a
enjoying this
cheater.
show.
Hey,
Oh,
Travis.
first of all, how am I cheating? Second of
You're
all, I'm
cheating.
actually enjoying the show.
Hey, Travis, guess what? It was Damone who said that, idiot.
No, Mike said it too.
No, I don't think I did.
Idiot.
Fucking smooth brain ass.
Anyway, continue with your show.
If,
Travis
if I
got
did
that.
as in a diatribe just to piss you off, like you were pissing me off.
Travis got them Matt Riddle brain cells. Shut your ass up.
He's
That
talking
man
all
said-
this shit.
It's so crazy to talk shit to somebody that's rating his product right now. This is so wild.
Oh, you know I'm gonna start
Hey,
my shit to y'all. I said fuck y'all.
Hey,
from
Travis,
the beginning.
your last
0.5.
rating just said we lost
0.5.
anyway, so we can talk all this shit
0.5.
now. I
I've
bet.
been saying fuck y'all since the beginning.
All right, so
And it's
here's
still
our
fuck
next match.
y'all.
We're moving on, but fuck you. We're moving on. Thank you, Base Mike, once again. So this will be our Team Trump, which will consist of CM Punk, Will Ospreay, Kenta, Samoa Joe, and a surprise entrant versus Team Knoxville, which will be Team Brohawk, RVD, Kurt Angle, and another surprise entrant.
Wait, who's in Team Brohawk?
Shannon Moore and Matt Riddle,
So it's Shannon Moore, Matt Riddle, and who else?
RVD, Kurt Angle, and a surprise entrant.
Okay.
They both got a
I
surprise
thought you
entrant.
misdid the math for a second.
No.
Like these
And-
motherfuckers got 6 people on the team.
And
No,
it is
it's 5-on-5.
this will be in a Survivor Series match. Please tell me nobody else drafted that.
No, you're good.
Okay. So opening the turmoil after Asylum, Trump and Knoxville come out to address the Raven problem. With CBW losing endorsements, the FCC trying to censor them, and the media slamming them, Trump and Knoxville agree to fire Raven effective immediately. However, Trump follows that by saying that he's going to retire the Extreme Championship. Knoxville is furious with the decision and retaliates by announcing the next pay-per-view, Barely Legal, as an all-extreme show. Trump says Knoxville just lost him millions with that announcement, as Raven intercepts the airwaves and interrupts, saying that he has thrived in the chaos of the power struggle. As long as the company is fighting internally and losing in ratings, the defense against this takeover is non-existent. The final phases of his plan is coming to fruition. As Raven gets off the screen, Raven gets off the screen saying he won't leave this company without a fight. Sorry, I fucked this up. So, Knoxville says he won't leave this company without a fight, and he knows that Trump has too much pride to do the same. They can no longer coexist in this work environment. Knoxville says, Trump, you write up the terms, and we're going to settle this at Barely Legal. We can't do this the way we've been doing it. We have to decide an owner of this company. Sorry, my notes are all mixed up. The next week, turmoil ends with Trump announcing the terms and Knoxville signing the contract schedule. Trump comes out with his plan to have a Survivor Series match under Knoxville's Extreme Rules, with the winning team captain gaining full control over CBW. Knoxville asks what the catch is. Trump says the catch is that his team is already put together, and Knoxville has 2 weeks to scrape up second-rate talent. As he says this, Will Ospreay and Kenta jump the barricades on both sides, slide into the ring, and beat down Knoxville until RVD runs out and makes the save. He gets on the mic and he says, well, Knoxville, it seems like you're hurting for team members, man, but you got your first one right here, the whole fucking show, Rob Van Dam. The next week, Trump cuts a promo saying that the fans will know who 4 of his team members are, and 1 will be left to a surprise. RVD faces Kenta that night and is going up for a frog splash, but Ospreay shoves him off the top rope and outside the ring. Ospreay and Kenta beat him down outside the ring until Team Brohawk runs down the ramp. Riddle knees Ospreay in the face while Moore hits a spinning wheel kick on Kenta. Riddle gets on the mic and says, Trump is done fucking people over. He's done stealing people's opportunities. He's done ruining. He's done getting in the way of their bottom line. Sorry. Lost it. There it is. Okay. And then he announces himself and Shannon Moore as members of Team Knoxville at Barely Legal. Later that night, commentary between matches interrupted to show Riddle and RVD being attacked outside of the venue by Ospreay, Kenta, and a masked man, who reveals himself to be Samoa Joe. A limo pulls up and the window rolls down to show CM Punk. He opens the door. Team Trump gets in the limo and drives away as Shannon Moore arrives to the scene too late. The last show before Barely Legal, the 4 known members of Team Trump share the ring with Trump himself. The crowd has many "Why Punk Why" signs. Punk gets on the mic and says he has a very simple answer to this question. To the question on all your stupid signs. It's plain to see for anyone with more brain cells than Matt Riddle. Johnny Knoxville is too inept to run a wrestling company. The fact that CM Punk has to beg for a good match around here is a travesty. The guys in the ring are proven commodities, while Knoxville takes chances on fuck-ups like Matt Riddle, RVD, John Morrison, New Jack. The list goes on and on. Now Raven is stealing control of the company, and he can't do shit about it. The wrestlers in the ring and the one waiting for you on Sunday are the best on the planet. Trump will ensure we are treated as such, and all you hardcore fans who turned your back, and then as he's interrupted by RVD's music, RVD, Riddle, and Moore jumping on the apron, fighting off punches and hitting springboards into the ring. They clothesline Punk, Kenta, and Ospreay out of the ring, leaving them with just Samoa Joe. Then the music of Kurt Angle hits. He runs down the ramp, knocking the members of Team Trump down and makes his way to Joe in the ring. They immediately square up. Angle hits an angle slam, pulls down the straps, and puts Joe in an ankle lock. And after Joe is able to claw his way to a rope, pull himself out of the ring, Angle gets on the mic and says, Team Knoxville is now complete because we too have a surprise on Sunday. An old friend of mine can't wait to help us kick your asses. It's true. It's damn true. Later that night, a Raven vignette airs where he says he finds all of this so amusing and he has huge plans for the winner. And he cackles maniacally. All right. So for the attires, you can announce our surprise entrance as they're doing the entrances with their attires.
Okay. So Team Knoxville comes out with Riddle in red trunks with gold lettering, red track jacket with gold stripes, and a red snapback with gold print. Then Moore comes out in white with red pockets with white jacket with red trim.
Finally some red.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, y'all got some red now. RVD in purple and green and white singlets. Kurt Angle has a black singlet on with red and blue and white, like red, white, and blue on the sides.
Snoop Dogg was out during this.
And then we hear
as he crep walks.
and then we hit the glass break, and Stone Cold comes down in black trunks with blue lettering, with a black vest with gold skull on the back with 316 Stone Cold on the back. So he is the surprise entrant.
Okay, that's their surprise entrance.
Yep.
Yeah, Stone Cold.
And that's for Team Knoxville.
And then Team Trump has Punk with his black and red shorts, so he's dressed like the old school Punk. Ospreay comes out in his American-inspired tights. Kenna is in yellow and brown. Samoa Joe is in.
Is it doo-doo brown?
It's that dark. No, it's a little darker. It's a little darker brown. It's
that HBK brown.
Yeah, it's the HBK brown. Samoa Joe comes out in yellow and black trunks, and then Brock Lesnar comes out in black shorts and red trim.
So Brock is the surprise entrant for Team Trump.
So the match starts off with them immediately swinging on each other. Everybody's just swinging on each other.
It was a good swerve. I'm glad. I was really hoping you were going to swerve me on that. I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Match starts off with them immediately swinging on each other, with RVD kicking Will Ospreay out the ring. Then we see Stone Cold. He's in the corner stomping a mud hole on Punk. Samoa Joe does a Uranagi on Riddle. One point, Ospreay does an Irish whip to Shannon Moore, and Riddle catches him in the DDT position. He's confused, like, what? And then Ospreay does a running neck breaker to Riddle, and it drops them both. Brock Lesnar does a suplex party to all the members of Team Knoxville. Punk and Kenna do a sandwich roundhouse kick to Stone Cold's head. Brohawk hits a double drop kick on Brock Lesnar that sends him out of the ring. Moore drops on all four near the ropes, and then Riddle sprints and steps off his back and does a corkscrew senton on the Brock Lesnar. Samoa Joe does a running front drop kick that hits both RVD and Angle at the same time and sends them both out the ring. RVD does a roundhouse kick that sends half of Punk's body out of the ring, and he's like half his body's hanging out in the second rope. And Ospreay sees this and runs and steps off of Punk's body and does a shooting star clothesline to Angle out of the ring. When Samoa Joe and Stone Cold are fighting in the crowd, we see RVD climb the turnbuckle and then do a rolling senton into the crowd. They're all laid out as the crowd chants "Holy shit!" Brock does a flapjack to Moore, where Moore counters in the air and turns into a Moorgasm, like out of the air. The crowd's going crazy as he pins 1, 2, but he gets pulled off by Kenta.
For those of you not familiar, the Moorgasm is a front flip neck breaker.
Yeah, Ospreay does a slingshot tornado DDT to RVD. At one point, Kenna and Punk both grab Team Brohawk and hit their GTS at the same time, looking at each other. So they're standing each other and they hit their GTS at the same time. They go for the pin, but Stone Cold and Kurt Angle pull them off. Moore does a slingshot crossbody that hits both Punk and Lesnar later on in the match. Samoa Joe hits Angle with the Muscle Buster, and when he goes for the pin, Stone Cold pulls him off. Kurt Angle does a German suplex to Punk. Double German suplex to Punk. When he goes for the third, Kenna grabs him, and he hits three German suplexes on him instead. At one point, we get a finisher chain that starts off with RVD diving and kicking Will Ospreay in the face. He turns around and Kenna roundhouse kicks him. Then Shannon Moore hits a running Morgasm. When he gets up, Brock Lesnar F5s him, and he goes flying. Angle is behind him getting hype, and he pulls down the straps, hits Brock with the angle slam, and he's doing a little like jump around thing he does. And Samoa Joe hits him with a running knee. When he gets up, Riddle does a running into him. And when he gets up, Punk hits another GTS. He turns around, the Stone Cold flicking him off, and then we get a stunner. He gets hype, he leans over the ropes, he does a little rattlesnake head shake, and while the crowd's going crazy. Then Stone Cold at one point clotheslines Kenta and lands on his knees. When he gets up, RVD hits a running DT to Stone Cold. Then we see Lesnar climb the top rope. You already know what he's going for. he's that shooting star press on Stone Cold. He claps the shit out of his knees too. You know how he does it. So then Stone Cold has a stunner party on Punk, Ospreay, and Brock Lesnar. Then when RVD walks up, he Stone Cold stunners him instead, like accidentally in the heat of the moment. He's like, "Oh shit, that's my teammate." When he realizes what's going on, he gets clotheslined by Samoa Joe. Then the match ends when Moore runs full speed and Riddle hip tosses him into a Hurricane Rana on Brock Lesnar, and then Moore goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Team Knoxville wins. And after the match, Knoxville celebrates with his team and the baby faces on the roster and says, "Raven, fuck your plan. My first act as the new owner of CBW is to book you and I in an unsanctioned match after the main event. You want the company? Come and take it."
Ew. So, okay. So, I don't even know.
Mike, go ahead and tell us what you love about it.
CBW.
I love the match.
Babe.
I love that Trump ultimately lost. I liked Brock Lesnar. I was not expecting Brock Lesnar whatsoever. I wasn't expecting Stone Cold either. I thought the match would be fun. I'd like to see Stone Cold stun his own teammate on accident. I hate the end though. I don't like that Knoxville is making a match against Raven.
You got to handle the problem somehow. They used the ball roster.
4.35.
I'll take that.
Okay, question. You said this was a Survivor Series match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were the eliminations?
It was pretty much a 5-on-5. I didn't know it was a Survivor Series match. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just did it as a 5-on-5. First pin. I did not know it was Survivor Series.
Hey, we already lost.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I did not know that shit. I didn't know that shit.
I'm like, this whole time, I'm like,
No,
I was hoping
they
to-
eliminated somebody.
So
I thought
I noticed this, and I was hoping you wouldn't the whole
I
fucking
didn't even
time.
notice.
No,
I
I was
was
like,
great.
I didn't know it was like that until you literally restarted this match, and he was like, "Yeah, Survivor." He's like, "Anybody book Survivor Series?" I said, "Oh shit, I didn't even know." I thought it was a 5-on-5.
And he's like, I didn't either.
It was like when Mike Myers and Kanye. It was like that. George Bush has black people. Like, wait, what? I wasn't ready for it. And I couldn't even do y'all be like throw some pins in there. I couldn't even do it, bro. I had everybody fight throughout that match, bro. I was like, I can't even do it.
And that would have been hard. That would have been hard to do on air.
I was saying I had to do it right there in the spot. I'm like, bro, I'm not that good, bro. Y'all gonna take this fucking Survivor Series match that wasn't actually Survivor Series.
We already
match.
lost at the last match. We can just eat it. They still had fun.
Your match wasn't that bad.
The match itself wasn't that bad. I just wish you.
Well, yeah, but like the goals,
include
like
that
I
part.
mean, like to win the whole thing though, we have to have such a perfect, pretty much card. And I feel like a 2 that the 2 that Travis gave us killed that hope. So now we're just having fun.
I think you killed that hope before, but
Yeah, I agree.
I think that we were in contention because nothing was below like a 3 at that point, and there was a lot of highs.
You needed like a mid 4. So
I've given
Yeah.
you 2 twos.
Yeah. What was the other
So-
2 in?
2.8.
Yeah, he gave the first match. He gave us 2.8.
Oh, I thought he gave it a 3. Damn.
Nope.
no, I gave it a 3.
It didn't deserve that.
God, I fucking hate Travis.
Higher.
So, but I have that first issue that you told me it was a Survivor Series.
I didn't know. So he said it just now.
So I obviously gotta tax you for that. I hated the end. I don't like the fact that you're doing Raven. And
Let it play out. Let it play out.
I'm letting it play out.
And just enjoy it. You're gonna like it.
I don't.
Look, just wait, man.
I like
Knoxville.
You think Knoxville can't take a bump? You think Knoxville can't take a bump?
I think the wrong team won.
I think Knoxville could take a pump.
Knoxville got beat up by Umaga. He got beat up by Umaga, remember?
Yeah, but I think the wrong. We'll worry about that later.
Damone's Team Trump confirmed. Cancel it.
I think it would have been better if you had Team Trump win. I liked Stone.
Wait.
Cold
Damone, are you a Trump supporter? Is that what you telling me? If you rate us low in this match, you are a Trump supporter. That's what I'm going. That's what I'm doing. Go ahead. Now go ahead with your rating. Anything if it's a 3 or if it's a 3.5 or below, you're a Trump supporter. Keep going though.
That's right. That's right.
You want to give us a 3.51.
That's exactly what I was gonna do. So I think the wrong team won. I would have preferred if the heels won. I didn't like Brock being the surprise entrant.
If it's ponytail Brock Lesnar, is that going to give it a higher score?
No, we gave him shooting star press Brock Lesnar. That's even better.
That is
he
better.
did do shooting star press.
I do like the shooting star press. That helped.
That's why I said he clapped the shit out his knees too when he did it. Like,
we got the Brock that actually tries going on. He ain't in them MMA shorts. He in them fucking trunks doing that work.
I'm gonna give you a 3.6.
Hell yeah.
I'll take that.
Damone ain't a Trump supporter confirmed.
Yeah,
Travis, on the other hand,
come on, Travis.
Come on, Travis. Who you go for? So he's already got some racism on it.
He didn't like Nation of Domination. He likes Team Trump. What else you gonna tell us this week, Travis?
I heard he hates the Hurt Business too.
He came and looked like a member of the Wyatt family. So we
can't see it.
Can't see that. All I see is white.
It makes you know you're great again.
It was never great.
Once
I have a couple problems.
Is there going to be a stop the steal?
I have a couple problems.
QAnon.
Travis could do an insurrection at our show.
Go ahead, talk your truth. Talk your truth, sis.
I planned on it. Thanks, Queen.
It was a go off, sis.
So won the Survivor Series eliminations. I thought I lost my mind and just missed them all. I was sitting here
I lost my mind. I lost my mind. That was me. I'll take all the blame for that. I did not know.
I do not like the Johnny Knoxville thing. I don't like it, so I'm gonna let
it play out.
I'm not. I'm gonna rate it for how I feel like it should be rated.
No.
We'll see what
You gotta rate for something that could happen. Rate for it as it.
No, I'm gonna rate the announcement, which I hate.
He hates the exact thing you announced it's happening.
Yeah, it's not this. I don't know the fuck you're talking about. Now, thirdly, I don't think that Brock Lesnar should have been on the heel team. Brock Lesnar got fucking screwed out of his last match. Brock Lesnar should have came back and beat the brakes off of fucking Brian Kendrick as the fucking babyface.
I didn't want to give you the payoff that you had already predicted last show. Because you said it. I was thinking about that as one of my options for the world title payoff. But the moment you said it on the last show, I said, I can't do that anymore.
Well, I was kind of hoping you had Keith Lee win the title.
You did the wrong thing.
You called that last show, and I said, I can't do that either because you called it. I didn't want to have y'all predict what I was doing.
That's a bad strategy.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to give us what we want.
What did everybody rate this so far?
Damone gave it 3.6.
He gave 3.6 and then a 4.35.
What the fuck are these numbers?
Mike's a god. That's what it is. I'm about to rate his random.
I'm gonna give you a 3.49.
He's
Just enough to be a Trump supporter.
yeah, just enough to be one.
Hey, he got that Celtics jersey of Danny Ainge.
Look, he had a good economy. What can I say?
Travis, where were you on January 6th?
My lawyer has asked me not to reveal those.
He had a camo hoodie on.
on.
He had a camo hoodie on. And he was yelling at people.
All right, we're gonna get to what.
Hey,
what?
John, I might have been with Chris Jericho's wife, but you were probably with Jim Cornette's. So
Jim Cornette's.
Damn it.
So this match was supposed to be our main event before our just now happened announcement. So this is going to be for this.
Yuck.
This is going to be our CBW World Championship match, where the Brian Kendrick will defend his title against John Morrison.
Why?
Because he's better.
This is
Let him go. Let him speak your truth.
Yeah. Why don't you have people leaving the mid card to go to the main event? I did that, you bitch.
no. Why don't you pay off any fucking storylines?
I paid off multiple storylines. It's not the way you wanted and predicted on the dirt sheets, you fuck.
Let him go. Let him go.
Fucking stupid.
Fuck you, Dave Meltzer ass motherfucker.
The fucking Brian Kendrick,
Knoxville.
Keith Lee,
Knoxville.
Brock Lesnar, Chris
Knoxville.
Jericho, fucking bullshit. This is the worst fucking angle I've ever heard. I'd rather watch Cena versus Sting in its entirety.
You're full of fucking shit. So let's rehash a little bit because Brian Kendrick has not feuded with Brock Lesnar. That was only the catalyst to him teaming with Keith Lee.
It doesn't matter. That's the fucking. He went away forever and came back now and has no problems with getting his ass beat by a fucking 4 foot tall, 100-pound midget. Who fucking cares?
You can't use
Shannon
that
Moore
N-word.
pinned him. Go.
Fuck you, Giddy.
Little person.
Do you know how I paid off Brock Lesnar? By having his ass get pinned by Shannon Moore.
Yeah,
Whoa!
Travis can say midget, but he can't say Cardi.
That is wild. That is wild.
Now, motherfucker.
That's wild.
Nothing
And that-
in
and
the way.
And that's
Look,
what
I
you're
can
supposed to
say-
trust and rate
hey,
us.
hey,
That's
I
what
can
trust and
say-
rate us.
I can say whatever I want. I rated that last match a 3.49. You know how we get down.
So, Chris Jericho feuded with Keith Lee. That lines up with the main event picture because he's been feuding with these motherfuckers for months.
Keep going. Just give us
Now.
your not real main event.
This is bullshit.
No, this is alpha. This is
No,
alpha. That's what this is.
This is not
This is
alpha.
alpha.
Let me tell you, this is not alpha. This is not alpha.
This is alpha.
Our main event picture was a little messy, but yours guys is God.
Bro, our
This-
main
this-
event,
this
two of our
alpha.
last main events had the same people in it. How's that
We got
messy?
Just let him go. Go.
We share
Right.
writers.
All right.
John is broken.
I ain't broken the shit, motherfucker. I knew I lost a long time ago. I'm just having fun. You just wait till that real main event. We fucking
I can't
smoking
wait.
super crack.
I can't wait. No, it's
All right.
you.
Yeet. All right, so on Turmoil, Morrison is shown with his head down in the locker room after losing his TV title to Keith Lee in the Elimination Chamber match at Asylum. Kendrick and Lee walk in, and Kendrick says, "Something's different about you. I just can't put my finger on it. Did you dye your hair? No, that's not it. New spray tan? No, that's every week. Oh, you lost your TV title to Keith Lee right after you won it and have no future in wrestling. Great." And then the moment Kendrick starts laughing, Morrison just starts wailing on his ass, just fucking whooping him. Keith Lee pulls Kendrick out of it, but doesn't do anything to attack Morrison. Kendrick points at Morrison getting out of the locker. "You'll regret laying hands on the champion." Morrison finishes the match against Cameron Grimes that night, and Kendrick storms the ring with Lee. Kendrick yells at Lee to get him, but Lee just hands Kendrick a chair and steps back. Kendrick gets distracted, barking at Lee, and Morrison hits a flying chuck under the chair into his face. Morrison's music plays as Kendrick scowls, going up the entrance ramp with a bloody nose. Next week, Gottfried has Morrison on for an interview. Gottfried asks how Morrison is feeling after his loss to Lee and asks if he plans to use his rematch clause. Morrison says he's gutted that all his work amounted to so little, but he's made peace with it. He's been doing this a long time and he knows what he's worth. After kicking Brian Kendrick's ass last week, I think it's time that I go shoot my shot and become the CBW World Champion. Gottfried asks if he has a plan to get a title shot, but Kendrick walks up saying, "You're dismissed, Gilbert," and then tells Morrison that a guy who couldn't cut it in the mid-card will never challenge for his title. Maybe if you're bored, you can see if The Miz still needs a sidekick.
Talk that shit.
He
Brian
does it. He's in $1 Million Studios.
Y'all love to mention the other show.
Talk
Hey,
that shit.
wrestling is one big family, baby.
Talk that shit.
Brian Kendrick comes out to cut a promo, but his interest is cut as the music changes to his spanky music and clips of him streaking, dressing like a rapper, and getting beat come on the screen. Kendrick is furious, screaming, "I swear to God, I will get everyone in this production team fired if I don't know who did this." Then Morrison walks out. He says, "I just thought it was really interesting that you wanted to make reference to the past when yours wasn't so glorious. But let's talk about the present. Everything about this run you've had is manufactured. And now everyone knows Lee is only with you for the money. He's getting tired of your shit too. Your 15 minutes of fame is almost up. You don't want this match because you saw last week how easy I can beat you. In and of yourself, Spanky, you're a jobber, bro. If I'm wrong, prove it." Kendrick screams, "You're the one with something to prove. It's you who needed 77 matches with RVD to win. It's you who held the title for a month and lost it. It's you who's never held this belt. And it's you who's going to get fired when Trump wins control of this company. You want a match? It's going to be on my terms. Beat me and Keith Lee in a handicap match next week, and you've got a title shot at Barely Legal." Next week is the interview where Kendrick cuts Lee off during the Jericho feud, where Kendrick cuts Lee off in the Gottfried interview, saying he's the future of the company. The main event comes that night, and Morrison starts off with Lee in the ring. Lee immediately tags in Kendrick. Morrison gets the better of Kendrick, and he rushes to the corner and later tags Lee back in. Lee and Morrison go back and forth, but Kendrick screams, "Finish him, you stupid fuck!" Lee puts Morrison down from a potential slam, tags Kendrick hard, and says, "Do it yourself," before getting off, and then he gets off the apron. Morrison immediately gets a flying chuck straight into a moonlight drive and a Starship Pain and pins him to make the match official. At the go-home show, Kendrick is shown with Lee in the dressing room telling him, Kendrick with Lee says, "If you want to sniff that $1 million bonus, you are going to follow the plan. You're going to let me do the talking. Keep these belts on our shoulders. You squash Jericho, and then you make sure Morrison doesn't get a cheap victory. Got it? Good." And then walks out. Later that night, Jericho does the bad comedy segment. Kendrick walks out. Lee takes the mic, throws it, beats up Jericho, and gets yelled at, as you already know. The end of the show is the contract signing. Lee doesn't show up to this. Morrison says to Kendrick, "Without Lee here with you, I can see the fear in your eyes. You have talent, but you take shortcuts. And here, it's going to bite you in the ass. The guru of greatness and all the mofos in this audience will celebrate when I become CBW World Champion." Kendrick laughs and says, "This Sunday will be like any other night in your career. A complete disappointment," and spits in his face. Morrison socks him, but Kendrick hits a low blow and throws Morrison shoulder first into the post, screaming, "I can do this on my own." All right. And then if you remember before the match, after Keith Lee's match, Kendrick said, "You're still going to follow the plan, right?" Basically. So Kenny, take us to attires.
All right. So Kendrick comes out in pink trunks and a black jacket with a blue bandana tied around the left arm sleeve. And then Morrison comes out. Yeah, he's gripping on here. Morrison comes out in black tights with purple trim. So the match starts off. Morrison and Kendrick are on a collar and elbow tie up, but Morrison throws him forward, causing Kendrick to roll backwards. And Kendrick runs forward and does a Hurricane Rana. Morrison does a lawn dart into the corner. At one point, Kendrick goes for a clothesline, but Morrison kicks his arm away and then does a capoeira kick. Morrison does a sweep, but Kendrick jumps over it. And then Morrison does a no-handed cartwheel and does an enziguri that sends Kendrick out of the ring. Morrison runs and does a running springboard 450 clothesline. One point, Kendrick powerbombs Morrison and then deadlifts him for another powerbomb. He goes for the pin. Morrison kicks out at 2. Kendrick goes for a diving moonsault. Morrison rolls out of the way. And then Kendrick lands on his feet and is a standing moonsault. So it's just like fat. He hits him. While on the apron, Morrison does a springboard corkscrew crossbody to Kendrick on the outside. Kendrick goes for the sliced bread number 2, but while he's in the air, Morrison tosses him out of the ring, and Kendrick goes through 2 of the tables off to the side. He lays there with broken table pieces covering him as he's holding his shoulder in pain. The crowd's chanting, "Holy shit!" Morrison goes for the Starship Pain, but Kendrick moves out of the way. At one point, Kendrick goes for the Captain Hook, but Morrison grabs the ropes. Morrison pulls the mat back to reveal the hard ground. Kendrick has Morrison in the cutter position on the apron. He hits the sliced bread number 2 off the ring post and onto the ground, which knocks Morrison out. And at the very end, Morrison hits a flying chuck. The crowd starts cheering as he looks off in amazement. He hits the Starship Pain. Then he goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Your new world champion is John Morrison as he holds his shoulder as he gets the belt from the ref.
Who wants to go?
I need time.
I say Mike goes first. I like Mike's the best.
That's fine. Mike goes first.
I like Mike.
Mike, go first.
I want to be like Mike.
The right man won.
Yeah.
But overall, I didn't give a shit about this match. I'm giving you a 3.
Oh no!
The betrayal.
It all
good. It's all good. It's all good.
Can you give me that finish one more time?
Basically, he hits the flying chuck, and then like it's that moment. He's like crowd's cheering. He's like, "Oh, go!" And he's just like, "Yeah!" And he gets up, runs, does the Starship Pain, pins him for the 1, 2, 3.
Does he land it this time?
Yeah, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Come on, man. Yeah, he lands.
I have some notes. I disagree with Mike. The wrong man won. There's no reason for him to win. I think that Brian Kendrick should have won, and we should have. I also don't think that this match should have happened. I think it should have been either Brock Lesnar or Keith Lee. There's no.
You don't feel you wasn't believing in Morris Mania? Morrison Mania?
No, I was not. Morrison has been on the verge of glorified jobber status this entire time.
No, he has
the
not.
world champion.
No, he is not.
John, I'm not talking to you. Shut up.
You literally fucking are. Hold up. So he's been. Think of this. Let's compare this to notable babyface rising up to the moment type builds. Your Kofi Manias, your Jeff Hardy builds, all those type motherfuckers. Your Daniel Bryans. They experience multitudes of failure before they get to the big point. He struggled his way to get the win over RVD. He was never a jobber. He was always at the top of the mid-card scene, struggling to get that win over RVD.
Hold on.
Gets his win over. Hold up, motherfucker. He gets his win over RVD. He gets his win over RVD. He wins the mid-card title. He gets fucked over in the elimination chamber. He loses.
Hey, John,
So
it's
he has a
almost
short
midnight. Your dollar bills are going down even more.
Oh, God damn it. Fuck.
Remember when RVD beat John Morrison the first time and cried? That was a highlight.
Because he knew. He knew.
Wait, don't do that because y'all watch Heels and he cried. And y'all said he was the best. Don't do that.
No,
Don't
we
do
said
that.
fuck him after that.
Don't do that. That man cried.
Oh, Ace cried and he got booed.
Yeah, fuck
They
yeah.
turned him into a heel.
G?
Yeah,
See?
nobody-
Now let me finish. Motherfucker. So he beats RVD. He loses the title in a heartbreaking fashion after a month. And then Kendrick saying, "You have no future. You're done. You suck." And then John Morrison's like, "I bet, motherfucker," and then wins the title. He overcame once again.
So
Yeah.
it's this wasn't about John Morrison though.
It was about John Morrison.
No, you weren't. This was a cop out because this wasn't the original plan. Your plan was not Brian Kendrick versus John Morrison when you started this.
Yeah, it was.
Then why did you say you thought about Brock Lesnar and you thought about Keith Lee but wouldn't do it because we said it?
Because I wasn't going to make that plan adjustment to get to what you want. So here's the thing. I was talking about baby faces to put at the top of the card, and from the beginning, one of Kenny's ideas was John Morrison, and I was thinking, yeah, let's have him go through some trials and tribulations, kind of like a Hangman Page situation. So
It's not a Hangman Page situation.
So I was like, I'm gonna, just have John Morrison grind it out in the mid card, and we'll see what we can do. I did think about the Brock Lesnar payoff, but you called it. I thought about the Keith Lee payoff, but it was a lot of mental gymnastics, and you called it.
I feel
So-
like that was the least amount of gymnastics to do.
Neither one of those are gymnastics. You did more gymnastics to get to the John Morrison than you did this. Than
Right.
did the other two that you should have done. It should have been a triple threat: Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar versus Brian Kendrick.
Man, y'all can't make up your mind on anything.
Wow, you know what we can make up our mind on? Or at least me. I didn't want this fucking match.
So
You know what? This is the better wrestling match that knows what I bet.
It doesn't matter. The story, but the story's not there.
The story you told
Brock
was
Lesnar was
the
gone.
focused-
What story?
The story you told was focused on Keith Lee versus either. You could have either done. I would have preferred you did Keith Lee versus
Brian.
Brian, the Brian Kendrick, because now you're ending this whole thing with that story never getting paid off.
Keith
Like
Lee
this
didn't-
story never gets
it
paid
did
off
get paid
at
off.
all.
Keith
It
Lee didn't
did.
help him. Keith Lee
Keith
didn't
Lee
help
didn't
him.
help him.
That's it. That's the end of the
That's it.
story.
That's the end of the. They don't have a
No
match.
matches?
Like
He gave up the
Nothing
money. He
happened.
ended the connection.
that.
He left
I
the money
hate
on the
that.
table.
So,
Yeah,
so you're never gonna reference this again.
No, it'll probably continue, but
That's not the end. Then that's not the payoff.
it is the
That's
payoff.
the end.
It feels
When
like
the game
you
pays
ended-
off, you still talk about it the next
you
day.
ended this. You're blue balling us. You got us to a certain point,
Honestly,
and then you cut the story off. Like this is the final show you're doing. You should have done this Morrison match on a random
Oh,
fucking pay-per-view. You could have done it in a random fucking pay-per-view. Have Brian Kendrick win, even though Keith Lee doesn't help him, and then you could do Keith Lee versus the Brian Kendrick for the title. Keith Lee wins the title. Bada boom. That would have been way better.
Or you have Keith Lee, you have John Morrison win on the last pay-per-view instead of doing whatever the fuck match you did last pay-per-view. What was that? Was that Angle Jericho?
Yes,
It
that was
just
a
feels-
match.
So you do that one with Morrison, that pay-per-view, and you have fucking you have this whole match. The match is exactly as it was laid out tonight happened, and you have Keith Lee versus Brian Kendrick this pay-per-view to where Keith Lee's actually a fucking babyface.
Right. It just feels like you abandoned that story like partway through. Like you aren't giving us the ending to that story.
I love
which I
when-
don't like.
I love how they're grilling you, John, and Kenny just sitting there, glaze-eyed over.
No, because when we say stuff that we don't like, John immediately jumps to the defense to try to tell us we're wrong instead of listening and hearing us out. So then it becomes us yelling at John instead of just critiquing the whole thing.
Kenny just sits there like
Every time we've
All right.
done a criticism, John's jumped to the defenses instead of just hearing us out and then trying to defend.
Let's
Did I
get the
rate
rating.
Did I rate it yet?
No, let's get the
No,
rating.
you didn't.
Well, we can take as long as we want because you didn't do any ratings at all this whole time, Mike. So I can.
I have done ratings this whole time. I liked it up until now.
I'm gonna give it a 3. I feel like I'm being generous there.
I agree. You're being generous. Fuck this match. I'm getting it a 2.5.
Jesus Christ.
I
that
do
was
not.
ridiculous.
Honestly, I was at a 3. But John, the more you talked and the more you told me, like basically it was like, oh well, fuck you if that's what you want. Fuck you. It just felt like you didn't care
And
about what the
more-
storyline actually was. You just wanted to not do what we.
I didn't want.
You want to
Morrison
be
feels
unpredictable
force-fed
for
in
no
there.
reason.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And Morrison feels forced, like he's
I just
forced
hate.
into this story.
I hate knowing like what the match is going to be 6 months in advance. I
Sometimes
hate
it's
that.
just how it works. Like
I just
that's-
fucking hate that as a fan.
You know,
Sometimes
what's gonna
that's-
happen.
Like I'm enjoying none of Roman Reigns' reign because I know it's leading to this fucking Mania match with The Rock because I just know it's inevitable. I'm enjoying none of it.
To be fair, they've been saying he's gonna have Rocket Mania for the last fucking 5 years. So
Yeah. And why do you think I've enjoyed nothing he does? Like
But that's just, I don't know.
I don't like-
It's the same thing as when I was talking about with the AJ Styles, like leading the crowd. That's how you tell a story. You want to lead them towards something. You led us towards the carrot and then gave us a bone. Like it was like makes no sense. Like
Now let's get to the actual main event.
you're not doing month by month, so
They did month. They
anything-
did a
did
the last 2 pay-per-views. There's only been like
No,
3
yeah,
months
there's a
that have
pay-per-view in
gone by.
between. There's pay-per-view in between.
right.
we did 2 months and then 1 month. So this is 1 month.
So yeah, there hasn't been that much time in between those shows. There haven't.
But I
been,
am
like,
going. I am
4
going
weeks
month to
yet.
month though.
Yeah.
After this random one, I am going.
you could
month
have
to
done
month.
it. You could have done. I am too. I'm going month to month after.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it out, Mike, so you don't feel left out. I'm gonna try it out.
I am too. But what you could have done with this is also you could have had this Morrison versus Brian Kendrick match happen in the pay-per-view in between Jericho Angle triple threat and this one, and have the Keith Lee versus Brian Kendrick match.
Exactly.
Or you have Brock Lesnar come out there and just fucking suplex the shit out of Brian Kendrick to cost him the match against John Morrison, and then you do that match. But John Morrison, this doesn't feel right.
It feels like your story's incomplete.
Exactly.
So the Keith Lee one was heavily on my mind, but for some reason I just couldn't make like I don't know. Like I understand the Keith Lee I agree with. The Brock one I don't agree with at all. I think that's fucking lame.
I think the Keith Lee would have been better. But
Keith Lee is the bigger story, but Brock, if Brock's going to come back, he needs to come back to fight one of those two.
Yeah.
You can't just take him off TV from a brutal assault and then you just like, that's okay, guys. I'm just going to go over here and play.
I'm going to be a
tiddlywinks with I'm a fiddle faddle with the fucking Donald Trump.
He had to go. He had to go put over Shannon Moore. That's the more important thing.
All right,
I hate it.
Okay.
Okay. Did we get all the ratings?
Yeah, for that match.
Yeah.
Now we got
the last
match.
True main event.
So this is going to be the unsanctioned match between Raven and Johnny Knoxville.
Oh God.
So the episode of Turmoil After Asylum, Raven is fired for the controversial crucifix match with Elijah Burke, attacking fans, being outside of CBW's control. Since his firing, he's been able to intercept the airwaves and play his messages on CBW TV. He usually does this to taunt Trump in Knoxville, but has also assisted the gatherers attacking another fan and abducting Miss Elizabeth, implying a threat of murder. News networks are saying that Scott Levy has been consumed by his gimmick and is doing unexplainable things. The next big wrestling tragedy seems to be lurking. Raven also posts disturbing things on social media about his desire to end humanity and how all humans deserve torture and death. He posts about a mysterious plan frequently. He posts videos of him and the gatherers torturing past rivals of Raven, such as New Jack, the Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, and blaming them for how he's been wronged in life. The TV network that has us, VH1, has threatened to pull Turmoil off the air if Raven is not completely disassociated with the company.
Hold on, what?
I didn't.
Y'all on VH1?
Yeah,
I never knew that.
Right after Rock of Love.
Do you guys like
In
talk about
between
things
I Love the
before?
70s.
No,
before you do it?
we do, but the thing is, like, I'll skim over stuff, but like I'll read it real quick. But I didn't know. I know everything else. I didn't know about the VH1.
All right. Mona's got me
That's
a few
funny.
times as I'm reading it. I'm dying because I.
Let's say some stuff throws it for a loop.
So VH1 has threatened to pull Turmoil off air if Raven is not completely disassociated with the company post Barely Legal. Most sponsors have called off deals, working relationships with other companies have stopped, and CBW has continued to fail competing with NSW and AWC in the ratings.
Remember that time that
True.
Travis booked UFC into his booking?
Yeah.
This is right now. You're booking actual TV networks into an angle.
Work, shoot, baby. Knoxville comes out to the ring and to the ring during his entrance says, "Come complete your plan, pussy. We settle this right now. You win. This is all yours. I win. I never see you again. Get out here." And then Raven lights go out and Raven's music hits.
Why did you sound like Donald Trump while you were
I
saying
don't
it?
right.
Come on out here, pussy.
Hold on. This is only for people that watch Bad Guy Versus, but I really hope Johnny Knoxville just chaos this shit. Like he just won control of the company and he's already wagering it away. This is another Lucha Dan Places match.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, fuck y'all. That's how I feel it now. Fuck y'all. We did it.
Y'all are repeat offenders. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we did it again. We doubled down on it. We say, you know what? Matter of fact, we said, fuck Mob Deep. Fuck Biggie.
You know what? That ring really was 6 sides the whole time.
7,
right.
motherfuckers. 7.
Kevin, why I call you Kevin? Kenny, take him to the tires.
All right.
Called you Kevin.
He did.
Hollywood Kenny.
Was he? Yeah. Okay. Raven comes out with like, you know, I feel wild saying this. All right. So you know how Jesus had the thing on his head, the talent. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
As a talent. Okay, so he got a barbed wire version, and then he's got on jean shorts and a black jacket.
For the people at home that might not know what the talent is, it's the crown of thorns.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
almost
got the
kind of like. Didn't we do a crown of thorns?
We did.
Did y'all?
Undertaker wore a crown
Yeah.
of thorns. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, Raven won one
he
last
has a crown
time.
of barbed wire on his
Yeah.
head.
Raven was full on like
One
white
inch.
Jesus last show. So like,
You're
Y'all
good.
are all four of y'all are gross for doing that.
I'm not going to
just putting that
dog you
out there.
for that.
And then Knoxville comes out in a black T-shirt with CBW in purple with black elbow pads and blue jeans. He's on his Tommy Dreamer.
Is it a T-shirt or is it a cut off?
No, it's a T-shirt. He's got the sleeves on it. It's not sleeveless.
How's his
But
ribs?
You said what?
How's his ribs?
Taped. His ribs taped. Every week, ribs taped. All right. No, but Knoxville comes out immediately with a stiff punch, like right in his face. But Raven's laughing at him.
Hits
As
him
blood
with
is.
a potato.
With a potato. So I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass now. But he just punches him. Then he's punching right in the shit. He just starts laughing, like blood's dripping out a little bit. He's like, ha ha ha. He's laughing. And he punches him back. And Knoxville just drops to the ground because it's like it's a real punch right here. Like he's like, nah, this is a real. I'll show you a real punch. So Knoxville on the ground holding his head in pain. Raven's kicking Knoxville in the gut, and he's yelling, "This is my show." Raven hits Knoxville with a buckle bomb. At one point, Raven does the brain buster to Knoxville. Raven pulls out a kendo stick, and he's just hitting Knoxville in his back. Knoxville starts going to offensive at one point. He starts doing a couple gut punches, and then even hits a suplex. The crowd's getting hyped, and they're getting behind him. He goes for a running crossbody, but Raven catches him and does a fall-away slam. One point, Raven kicks the steel steps over, revealing a small bag. He brings the bag into the ring, and he holds the bag up in the air and starts pouring the thumbtacks onto the ground as the crowd cheers. Raven pulls Knoxville's shirt off and throws it into the crowd. I'm sorry, into the ground. I can't read. Throws him to the ground. Raven does a belly-to-belly suplex, and Knoxville lands on the tacks. He's screaming in pain. Knoxville's on all fours crawling at one point. Raven pulls out a fluorescent light tube, and hits it across Knoxville's back. Knoxville hits a backdrop onto Raven, onto the tacks, and he starts getting it back on the offensive. So he hits him onto the tacks. Raven is laying onto a table at one point outside the ring. Knoxville does a diving senton off the top rope, but Raven moves out of the way, and Knoxville goes through as the crowd chants, "Holy shit!" Raven hip tosses Knoxville off the apron and through the announce table. Raven throws him over the barricade into the people in the front row. At one point, Raven drags him into the ring, but gets low blow by Knoxville, then gets punched in the forehead. Knoxville does an arm wrench DDT onto the ground. It starts getting a little bit of momentum. Knoxville does a drop kick, and then he even puts him up on the top rope and does a superplex. Knoxville has Raven in a fireman's carry on the apron. He hits Simone roll off the apron and through a table. Knoxville does a running crossbody when dragged to the ring again. Knoxville's laying there in pain from everything he's been through. At this point, Team Trump comes out to jump Knoxville, but Team Knoxville comes out to even the odds. And while they're all going at it, Trump comes out and grabs a chair to hit the wounded Johnny Knoxville. He smacks it on the ground as the crowd's booing. He gets himself hyped up. He cracks him on the head as the crowd's booing like crazy. When Trump gets up, the crowd suddenly starts cheering, and Trump starts throwing his hands up. But he realizes the cheers aren't for him, but cheering for who's running down the ropes. It's Steve-O. He's coming down and hits the Luthes press on him with punches. He pulls the table out and slides it into the ring, puts Raven on it, then wakes Knoxville up and starts pushing him towards the turnbuckle. Steve-O sees the Team Trump and Team Knoxville brawling out the ring. So he sprints and climbs the turnbuckle and hits a diving moonsault off into the people outside the ring and drops them. Then Knoxville climbs the turnbuckle slow and in agonizing pain, holding his stomach. Then he reaches in his pocket and pulls out an Eddie Guerrero-inspired armband. But this one says RD for the late Ryan Dunn, and points up at the sky and then hits a frog splash through the table. He pins Rowdy Reps as he drops to his knees and puts his hands up.
You the finish. Can you run that back again? You kind of froze out.
Oh, I did. Okay, what was the last thing y'all heard?
The RD.
Okay, so he pulls up the Eddie Guerrero inspired armband, but this one says RD for the late Ryan Dunn. He points up at the sky, then hits a frog splash through the table. He pins for the 1, 2, 3, and the crowd erupts as he drops to his knees and puts his hands up.
So if Johnny Knoxville already won and Trump is gone now, isn't he supposed to be gone now? I thought
he's supposed to be, but he's a heel. He's a
right. But he already lost. So no matter what he does, doesn't matter.
He just hates Knoxville. He'd probably rather see Raven continue his bullshit than see Knoxville succeed.
I absolutely think that would be a bad business decision. Trump
has failed a lot of businesses. Trump steaks sound familiar?
I'm not really feeling this one, and I really don't feel like it was your surprise main event worthy. You had me till these last.
It has to be last. It's unsanctioned. That's the rule.
No, you had me up in the first half. Those last two matches have not been good. Yeah, I didn't like anything about it. I'm gonna go with a 2.
Okay, so I think the wrong person won. I think you could, like, obviously you're not booking it, but I think creative wise, you could have done way more stuff with Raven winning control of the company and like him being a maniac and stuff like that. And then have a different baby face take him out. I just feel like I think Johnny Knoxville got way too much like offense and that wasn't weapon based. Like he was actually like, he
did what he do? A suplex and a crossbody, and then he hit a frog splash.
Here's the thing. Hold on. I'm gonna defend them real quick. If I can do a Travie Destroyer, he can do a suplex and a crossbody.
True, I'll give you that.
He didn't do that much. If we're gonna be real, he was getting his ass whooped the entire match.
But I will put it out there that it is canon and BookItVerse that Travie T does Travie Destroyers. I'm just putting that out there.
Sure. But I'll be honest, I hated all of it. Even with giving you the benefit of the doubt that he could hit those moves, I just hated all of it. It's a 0.5.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with everything he just said. This was ass.
If I could rate it lower, awful. I would.
My 2, I thought was.
Well, you said I hated everything about this. You get a 2.
Yeah,
if you hated everything about it, you should get it a 0.5.
I'm not giving it a 0.5. That's the standard. I'm giving it a 2.
I think this is worse than anything with Cena and Sting. Worse than anything with.
You're over-exaggerating by a lot.
This is worse. This is. I'd rather watch the crucifixion match.
Wrong loop. Hold on. I've got one thing to say though.
This is so dramatic, Demone.
This feels like a off-brand version of what I already did with the. Like I expected us to have similar ideas with the control of the company thing because we were both booking towards that, which is fine. But I didn't expect you to do a surprise heel thing at the end of it too, which is odd. Like I had Christian Cage come in and cash the world championship or cash in to win the world championship, and now like Eric Bischoff aligns with him. Then you have Trump coming out like with it just. I hate that this is the way you're ending your show too. Like you just had a decent main event. Even if I don't like the storyline, the match itself would have been good. And then we get Johnny Mock. It also feels like it devalues your world championship.
It's an unsanctioned match. You have to put it last. That is the rule. Wait, when we were talking about those match types, y'all said this shit. Don't go back on it.
I agree with you, John.
I don't think it has to be last.
It does. It has to be after the thing. They have to turn the lights on and turn the lights back on. That's the rules.
But they didn't. And I wish I would have turned the show off.
How many pizzas would you have gotten, Mike?
You didn't need this match at all. Like,
fuck that. How many pizzas?
No, it's too late now.
So at this point, I would have been done with my pizzas. I would have had a cake. I would have pulled that shit out of the oven.
Nah, ain't no time for that.
This match would have come on.
You enjoyed the show.
So by the time this match came on, and I'd be like, all right, well, I got to let my cake cool down. And I see it, and I walk away. I'm like, well, I'm going to start cutting it now.
Nah, you ain't had no time for no piece of user maze from match 1 through 7.
Yeah.
1 through 6, my
Go to
fault.
bed.
1 through 6.
And I had one pizza. There was no problems. I didn't have to go back. But then the end happened, and I had to make a cake.
I would have given you a higher score if Raven won. To
For
be
real?
honest, I think you would have been able to do
Agreed.
more.
But
creative
Knox-
stuff with
Knoxville's
Raven.
character was supposed to be he still cares about wrestling, and Trump was pretty much like just to me think of it as just a business, not
Then,
legit.
then
Y'all
he
wanna-
No,
y'all-
did
I
not
don't mean
back out.
between Trump. I don't like. I understand. I said I think Trump should have won. Whatever. But moving past that you had Johnny Knoxville take control of the company. Now you have Raven doing all this crazy stuff. He loses, so there's really no payoff. He loses, he's out of the company, he's gone. With Raven wins, like yeah, theoretically you lose all your sponsors and stuff, but you could do more stuff with him being like
we
a
lose
side
our
guy.
TV deal the most.
Yeah, so you get a new TV deal.
You
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe-
Who's buying this shit?
Find out.
Access TV.
Ugh.
you go the
see how that
TNA route.
goes.
You do weekly pay-per-views.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
what's an edgy station these days.
You could go on Twitch, live from Twitch.
We gonna end up on OAN.
Comedy Central.
Yeah, with TNA. TNA can be your fucking lead in. Yeah, I would have probably given you like a 3.5 if Raven would have won, to be honest with you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I would have probably given you like a 3.
I feel like
Y'all-
this I feel like this was unnecessary. With,
Oh, I
with
would have
Knoxville
still been
winning.
at it too.
Also, y'all were trying to make Knoxville Shane McMahon, and I hated it.
Your hatred of Knoxville went way too far. This is inappropriate.
All right,
Yeah, the match being there was inappropriate.
so we're gonna go on and do plugs. Sorry, Fudge. I know he doesn't have any.
Did I mention I'm on the Jericho cruise?
Bad guy.
If you want to see more greatness, go to Bad Guy Spoken Podcast. And you can also check out Unbiased on there too, and Jukebox. Excuse me. And then check out Bad Guy Spoken on every social media. Yeah. That's about it. Where we do bad things.
Travis.
I haven't done these in so long. I don't remember how. It's follow me on all social media at IamTravvyT. That's at IamTravvyT on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I am on a social media hiatus, so I'll see you in the new year.
I be tweeting and TikToking. Follow me at TheMoneyT13, DAMONEY, the number 1, the number 3. Follow me on both.
You
Or
find
don't.
me- Find me on Twitter, hi-fi_Mike. You can find me on TikTok, hi-fi Mike, no underscore. You can find all the shows on the T13 Media Network on our website at t13media.com. We also have a shop there. Go buy something. But that is it. That is Book It. That is the end of the Book It tag teams. Fuck, that was a pain in the ass.
That was a pain everywhere else for us.
Next week we will be back with
We're doing my first time.
with my
Yes.
first time. We are gonna have a special
Table
guest on
matches.
for my first time,
Table.
and then the following week, I'll just pull up our schedule. I'll let everybody know the programming notes. So everyone out there listening knows what I'm not pulling it up. I accidentally pulled up my fantasy. So, because we are going to be taking a break in December for about a month. So, leading up to that, we have I can't apparently find it.
Quick question: Are we doing the book it? Are we doing the random?
We're gonna do the
Before that-
draft. Yeah, we're gonna do. We're moving something. So next week we're doing the my first time. Then on the 23rd, the week after, is the Ultimate Survivor Series. We're gonna book an Ultimate Survivor Series. Then we're gonna do a Greatest ECW Wrestler Tournament on the 30th. On the 7th,
I'll definitely be there for that.
I had it as Book It Jeopardy, but we're gonna change that. We're gonna do Mike and John are gonna do a tag team booking on the 7th of December, and then on the 14th of December, we're gonna draft for the random.
Wait. Are you saying live on Book It we're getting Mike versus John
No, not versus.
in a book off? Oh, okay.
Not
Mike
a
and
book
John.
I want to see
Not
this.
a book off.
They're,
I want to
they're
see
booking,
this book
they're
off.
booking each other off.
Ew. Ew.
Huh. Huh.
What you mean?
And I'm gonna get. I'll
What
get
you
the
mean, my boy?
finish. I'll get the finish done first.
Ew. What you mean, my boy?
All right. So that is gonna be Book It. We will see you next week with my first time.
Table
See ya.
dumpster match.
Bye.